Nakaabang ako. Okay.
I think we're live.
Yay!
Let's look.
Naka-live, diba?
Wait,
Yeah,
so I have to check the link, right?
Yes.
You mean the link itself in the
Yes.
YouTube?
I have to check the link, right? Okay, someone is playing the video. You have to turn that off, like the music.
So have you guys copied the link?
Me, not yet. Wait.
Okay, I have it. Shit.
I'm going to post it on my.
I think
Okay.
It's
We are live.
Yeah.
is it
we
the
have
one that
5
you sent,
viewers.
Melanie?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the group chat? Okay, so I'm gonna put this. Okay.
Public post.
We are just testing
Oh, I can
and sharing links. So just wait a while.
give me a sec.
Yep.
Put it here.
Oh, we already have one comment. Hello,
Yeah.
Really?
Hi, Papa Pax.
Wait. Okay.
Hi, Papa Pax. Hi, guys.
Oh.
We're just figuring out how to share the video, so just bear with us for a while.
Did someone share the link in our Facebook group?
I can
Or
do
not
that.
yet?
I just linked our Facebook, but I forgot to link you guys. Wait.
That's okay.
Edit.
We still have 1 minute. No, just
We give. I don't have an image to include with the link, so I think that's fine. Oh,
I'm
I
just
think
gonna
it's
comment the link.
Preview for it because
okay.
it's.
So I'm gonna share it with my group. So we start exactly 7 p.m. Oh, here in British
7
Columbia.
p.m. there. It's 8, so it's about time.
So I mean, we can chit chat with them now. You know, we can start
Yeah, I
talking
think so.
while we're sharing the link.
I think it's already shared. Can you just approve it, MC? Yep.
Follow up.
Already shared.
Wait.
Oh, no. Actually, I pasted it in the comment section, so that's fine. We're good.
Okay, let me. It's just so hard. I don't have a
Hi,
mouse right
Ange.
now.
Hi, Kenneth. Hello. Bear with us. We're newbies on with live. YouTube live.
I'll be sharing it.
Okay, I'm gonna share it now.
Good.
Hi, Kenneth. OMG then. Yeah, OMG.
Visit.
Oh yeah, it's
One
stormy
more. I
there
have
in the
a lot of
Philippines.
groups, so that's why it's taking me so long.
I hope you're all safe there in the Philippines.
And I think there's a storm, right? What's his name again? Rolly?
Rolly. I think
Yeah.
Rolly.
Good morning, Rhodia. Good evening here.
Oh, we have
Hey.
one from UAE.
Hi from UAE. Hello. Wow.
Early bird.
Joanne.
It's already,
Yeah.
it's just 6 a.m., right? In UAE.
Yes,
Holy.
it is.
Hi, Sherwin.
Can you guys type a hashtag your country so that we know where you're from, right?
Oh, yeah. I pray for everyone in the Philippines. I hope you're all safe. So if you're listening right now, if you're watching us right now, can you just let us know where you're from, and so that we'll know for our information,
Yeah.
and everybody will know. Yeah.
We'll
Yay,
have a quick
Philippines.
shout out.
We'll start in a few minutes. Are we all good?
Yeah.
Yes, we're all good.
Thank you, guys. Now there's 18 people watching us. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
let's wait for a bit, like maybe
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Or
Oh, hi from Indonesia. Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi, Meliana.
There's one from Qatar as well. Hi, Sherwin.
Oh, you're from Qatar?
From
Sherwin?
Batangas.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes, with the S. Batangas. How are you guys this weekend? What's up?
I want to
Oh.
ask if our sound is, good. I want to ask them.
Yeah, you guys, can you hear us clearly? If yes, just give us a thumbs up or just
Give it a
say
thumbs
yes.
up.
So can you hear us clearly? Just give us a thumbs up so that we'll know if everything's good and we can start.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay.
Thank
Yay,
you,
we're all
guys.
good.
Also,
Crystal, love it.
Oh, they're all from the Philippines.
Yeah.
We have few from different
Yeah.
countries too.
Thank you, Tin.
nice.
Nice.
I think they're all from our group.
Yeah. So
It's good to
I
have
was so excited
They're all
when we
familiar.
when we posted the collab and they were all excited. Well, we are excited too, right? But they
more.
were really excited
Yeah.
to learn about the schools that we are representing, right?
That's
So
great.
most of
Yes.
them are probably either incoming international student or aspiring, like just starting the process.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, Sherwin. It's fine.
You have to find the thumbs up first before we can start.
Hi from Singapore.
Oh,
Yeah.
their love from
Hi,
Yeah.
Arian. Ted.
AM and Manila. Hello. Shout out Mark Mo.
Woo! Our dancer looks so fab.
Just our Denzel. How about us?
Everyone else is all dressed to the nines.
So there's a question here. So guys, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna have a discussion first, and then later on we're gonna take questions after the discussion, so we can share with you everything that we prepared, if that's fine with you. So the cure, can you just reserve the question, and later on when we are on the like Q&A portion, just type it in again, because it's gonna be like it's gonna flood, the other comments will flood it, and then yeah, so that we'll come back to your question again. Okay, thank you. Oh, he's from Bahamas. Hello.
Hello from Bahamas.
Yeah. Yep. So are we good now? We're like 6 minutes past 8, but that's fine. We're waiting
Wow.
for.
You're so strict,
No.
teacher.
No, because we value their time, right? I know.
That's true.
Hello. From Nigeria. It's Chacha from Nigeria.
Nigeria. Yeah.
Chacha.
We're so flattered, Cha, because you made YouTube.
You're
for
very
this.
supportive.
So sweet.
Thanks. If you can just be with us next time, okay? With your long gown and everything. Thank you. This is so fun. Hi,
Okay.
Mark is asking for a shout out. Okay, so are we all set? All
Yeah.
good?
How many do we have right now? I can't see
It's
it.
37 about
41.
Oh,
41 also.
Wow,
that's
that's a
nice.
lot.
Yeah, 48 and counting.
Nice.
Thank you for coming.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh, there's another one. Shout out. Shout out to Christine Lu, who's also watching.
Aw, that's so
Yeah.
sweet. Thank you guys for watching.
There's a little bit of delay in the broadcast. So when
Yes.
we're saying 51, 48 or something,
Mm,
it's still counting. I think we're good. We already have 50
Yeah.
viewers.
Yeah.
So let's not
yes, I
delay
think we can start.
without further ado.
I mean, if others could not, watch from the start, that's fine because this is going to be live, and then after this live session, it will be posted on Melanie's YouTube channel, and then we're going to share it as well in our channel, so everyone
Yeah,
would be able to watch it as well.
that's right. If you cannot catch this right now, you can always play back later.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start.
Ooh,
So,
we're
good
actually
morning.
nervous. Okay, so please share with us.
We're familiar faces, but we're actually nervous when doing live because this, for me
Yes.
at least for me, it's my first time to go live. So,
Same as me.
oh
It's my
yeah,
first time to
Jason
go
too.
live as well.
But because we love you guys and we want to share as much information as we can, so we're trying this way. If this is good, actually, if we find it good and you guys like it, then we probably might do it more often. So let us
Oh,
know.
every week? Is this gonna be every week?
Oh no, my
Yeah.
social anxiety.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's start.
Yeah. So guys, just keep your comments coming. We'll come back to it later. We're just gonna talk and just gonna discuss the things that we have prepared for you guys. Okay. Yep. Let's begin. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Melanie from Melanie on Demand, and we are joined together by three of the most inspiring YouTubers from the Philippines. Actually,
Wow,
we
that's
are
nice.
in we are in Canada now, but yeah, so who are very much willing to share their experiences with you guys. And right now, we are gonna focus on our schools, on our student life when we are all graduated right now, actually. So we're gonna share with you
Yeah.
our experiences when we are still students, and most of these experiences that we're gonna share are it's actually first-hand experience, and we're gonna this information might not be available online because this is our first-hand experiences, right? You like
Mm,
if we talk about tuition fees, admissions, and all this stuff, you can find this online. But here we're gonna talk about some things that cannot be searched, and our opinion, what we think about the student life in each school, each provinces, and all those. Okay, so we prepared a couple of topics that we're gonna discuss, and we're gonna go through it together. And later on, you can keep your questions with you, and then we can discuss it as we move to the Q&A session. Okay, so I just want to let you know, guys, that this is just for information purposes. Okay, we are not immigration consultants. We are not licensed.
yes.
Yeah, we are not authorized. We're not taking your money or whatsoever. We are just sharing with you our experience. So if you need help for your application, always go to the authorized representative. You know that, right? You have to watch my video, watch their
Mhm.
videos about this as well. So
Totally
only
agree.
for informational purposes and not for legal help, okay, or legal purposes. Okay, so let's start by introducing all our introducing our guest. So, so we're gonna talk about each of our background, our international student details and timeline, as well as short intro about our schools. So MC, can you start?
Me first?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm MC. My real name is Emmeline de Guzman. So I'm just using MC as my nickname. So I'm from the Philippines. I came from Cavite, and then I took BS nursing in the Philippines. So I'm a registered nurse in the Philippines, and then I went to Dubai. I worked there as an administrator, and then came here to Canada as a student, and I took business administration in accounting. So I moved to different provinces from Nova Scotia to Toronto to British Columbia. And when I started my program, it was 2017, no, 2018 January. It was a fast track program, and it just run for 16 months. So yeah, so I studied at Nova Scotia Community College. So I finished my program in 2019 May. So yeah. Did I miss anything, Melanie?
That's it. That's good. That's good. Thank you, MC. And Rachel.
Yes. So, hi everybody. I hope that everyone is well. My name is Rachel. I'm originally from Manila, Philippines. I studied a bachelor's degree in industrial engineering in the University of Asia and the Pacific. Um, After my graduation in August 2017, I went to Canada a month after to pursue a 1 year program named Communication Design Essentials at the British Columbia Institute of Technology, or BCIT. BCIT is a smaller school compared to the universities here, but it has over 5 campuses spread across the lower mainland, and it offers like 300 programs and 1,000 courses. And it's known to have most of its full-time programs in construction and trade, business, and engineering. And the reason why I went there is because they're well known for advocating practical and applied education, which is why I went there. That's about it.
Thank you, Rachel. And now Jason.
All right. So, of course, hi friends, kamusta? So, if you don't know me, my name is Jason Jung, and actually, I'm from Cavite, Philippines. So, back in my
Oh,
in the home country, I took Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Back in 2009, I didn't have any experience in a hospital. I mean, a hospital based, but I was exposed to a corporate world, specifically like in the insurance industry in healthcare. So I came here in Canada back in 2018. That was winter. I had my winter intake in January 2018 as an
Mm-hmm.
international student and graduated at Conestoga College in Dune campus, Kitchener, and it is in Ontario. So in Dune campus in Kitchener, it is actually the main campus. In Conestoga College right now has 7 campuses in Ontario. And as you know, it is also a designated learning institution that offers PGW, which is really important if you are choosing school. So since I was in the main campus, there are a lot of programs available, like of course specifically like healthcare, media and arts, and other business related programs as well. That's it.
thank you very much, Jason. So, my turn. So, as you all know, I'm Melanie, and I'm from SAIT in Calgary, Alberta. So I started my program in fall 2017, and I finished it April 2019. I'm already a permanent resident here in Canada. I got my permanent residency last May 2019, and I got it through the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program, or AINP. In the Philippines, I was a registered chemist, but I actually didn't work in the Philippines. I went to UAE to work for 3 years, and then I went to Singapore to work for 6 years, and finally I'm here in Canada working in the same profession. And I'm so happy that I was able to still pursue my profession and get a permanent residency here in Canada. So at SAIT, I took chemical laboratory technology program, which is a 2 year program, and it's practically more hands-on. If for those guys who studied chemistry in the Philippines, a bachelor's degree in chemistry in the Philippines, it's more on theory. So what I studied here is more practical, hands-on for instrument, which is actually a good refresher, even for me who has 9 years of work experience, right? So it's really we are very applicable even for those who have been working long time in the field. So yeah, so SAIT offers a lot of programs, 1 year, 2 years. They also have bachelor's program, and which are actually good for international students because most of them are practical and can be used directly in the industry after you graduate. So yeah, so that's me and that's us actually. That's our background. Yes, MC.
Melanie, I want to add something. So
Yeah.
I just want to add the reason why I went to NSCC, because those are like NSCC is one of the affordable schools in Canada. And then during that time, I want to start my program in January. And as you know, in Atlantic, it always starts on September. So that's the reason why
Mm.
I went to NSCC. And I also want to share with you guys why we changed our career. I think there are a lot of aspiring students would be thinking, oh, you're a nurse. Like Jason, Jim is a nurse as well. So why did you change your career? So mainly for me, my career in Dubai, like I just switched it. So that's why I take business administration. I think that would be the same with Jason, right, Jason? So yeah.
Are you muted, Jason? Hold on.
Oh, is it, he's muted.
Oh, you mute yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There you
Sorry.
go.
Okay. So, sorry. So as I had mentioned earlier, my exposure back in the Philippines was in the corporate world, in insurance industry, in healthcare still. But the thing was, um, applying to different countries really for me was like it took me 9 years before getting this opportunity. So for me, I was with an agency before, and the available program that they offered to me was the global hospitality management and global business management. To be honest, for me, I didn't really care if like what's gonna be, what's gonna be like in my field here in Canada. But the main purpose for me is that I really wanted to step in. I really wanted to start to go in Canada, whatever opportunity comes with me. So that's the reason why that the global, even if it's a global hospitality, I just grabbed it. And also, I think for myself, I can say that I mean my strength is really customer service, because like back in like insurance industry, I really dealt with different customers, different clients as well. So that for me, this is really my track. So that's the reason why I changed my career. But of course, I just wanted to be here in Canada as soon as possible. So that's the reason why I changed, and I started January 2018 as well.
I see. So
Yeah.
Jason and MC started January 2018, and Rachel, you started
Yeah.
September 2017, right?
I started October
Oh,
2017.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so sort of the same. I also started September 2017, and MC and Jason started almost same time. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
So
actually in the same batch,
yeah,
right?
actually,
We're almost in the
Yes,
technically.
same batch.
indeed. Went
Yeah, that's
to
good
Canada
to hear.
University.
So there you go. That's our background and sort of a little bit of information about us. And actually, when we were discussing and preparing for this collab, we realized that we actually have different programs, school programs.
Yes.
So what happened is like Rachel took 1 year program, I took 2 year program, MC took 2 year fast track program, and
Yeah.
Jason took 1+1 plus co-op. So we want to share with you our experiences with different programs. So Rachel, can you start with 1 year program?
Yes. So I started or I took a 1 year program, and it was Communication Design Essentials at BCIT. Fun fact, you guys, I actually attended two schools for my classes. One was at BCIT, while the other one, some of my classes would be at Emily Carr University. And it's actually a well known art school located here in Vancouver. This program, Communication Design Essentials, offers a mix of business communication and graphic design morphed into one. And I get questioned about this a lot because the program I studied is far from my education back in the Philippines. I took up industrial engineering back at UANP, or University of Asian Pacific. And some of you are also wondering like how I explained getting into the program when my background was far. But I just during the program, my program application to BCIT, I explained that my main goal of pursuing graphic design is to complement my love for collecting and organizing information, which is what I mostly learned from engineering. And I wanted to complement that with creating visually appealing content that captivates a targeted audience, which no doubt I learned from BCIT.
That's very interesting, Rachel. Thank you very much. Yeah. So your do you think the 1 year program is enough, or do you think it can be extended to 2 years, or what do you think?
Like in terms the of what I learned from BCIT, or do you mean in terms of immigration?
The yeah, maybe on what you learn as a student first. Yeah.
Okay, what I learned as a student, I mean, what I appreciate about the education there is that um, it felt expedited. Like all of the things that we learned were pretty, like it was a full course, right? And it felt pretty heavy because it is graphic design, but it didn't feel compressed. But I felt that I learned a lot more uh, going through that process in a span of a year. But in terms of
Mm.
immigration purposes, I get asked a lot about the 1 year program to PR pathway. And like there are a lot of challenges. And I'm still facing it right now. Like I was able to work 1 year after I graduated, right? And then I was able to fulfill my 1 year full time work experience. But even then, because express entry is such a rigid points based system, it took me much longer to get invited for PR. And at that point, all I had to do was wait for the scores to drop because I lost status. Like now, I'm remaining here in Canada as a visitor, and although I lodged in my PR application, I can't work, I can't study, basically waiting in limbo. So for those that are planning to pursue the 1 year program, do proceed with caution because doing that pathway, there are no room for mistakes, and you really have to act fast.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you'll be left behind.
exactly.
That's right.
I
It's gonna
agree.
be
I agree.
cheaper. Yeah, it's gonna be cheaper for 1 year, but the
Mhm.
consequences can be sometimes fatal, right? So
Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, but
Mm,
it's possible for some, but you just have to make sure you have enough
Points.
score, CRS score, so that you'll be
yes.
invited right after your program. So, thank you, Rachel. So for me, I took just the normal speed 2 year program. So I started fall 2017, and that's the first semester. And then after that, second semester is winter, so January to March. And then after that, I had 4 months of summer. So there's no classes after that. So after the first and second semester, I had 4 months of summer, and then I was able to work full time. So during that time, so the beauty of 2 year program, you have that sandwich summer where you have 4 months of you will be able to work full time, so that you can. In my case, I was able to save up for the third semester. So that's the beauty of the 2 year program, and it's a normal speed. So that was May, June, July, August, and then September we're back to school for a third semester, and then January or fourth semester, and we finished the program at around May, so end of April. So basically, I think most commonly international students take 2-year program. That's what I see all the time. Basically, I think because of the 3-year PGWP after studying the program, right? You'll get 3 years PGWP. Whereas if you study like 1 year, you'll get 1 year. If you study for 2 years, you get 3 years. So you got bonus 1 year program, right? A 1 year PGWP, which is the work permit, right? So in that process, like Rachel is saying, if you have a 3-year PGWP, you'll have enough time to process, get the work experience for your permanent residency. So basically, that's my thinking. That's why I proceed with a 2-year program. And in terms of the curriculum of the chemical laboratory technology that I took, it's just nice for me because I don't want to study another degree. I already have a degree, and I don't want 1-year program because I might not have enough points because I'm not really very young. So my CRS score is not high enough for 1-year program. So that's why I took 2-year program. It worked well for me. I didn't have to use all of the 3 years for PGWP, but I wouldn't have known that I will be invited, right? So that's just a bonus. So I didn't risk taking 1-year program because I know I'll be invited. That's actually not in the plan. So it just worked on my favor in that sense. Yeah. So that's the 2-year program. So let's hear from MC about the 2-year fast track program.
Okay, so I just want to tell you like the story and how I got that program. So I was like searching for the schools back in December 2016. So I'm started to looking for school provinces, and at first I was looking to go to Quebec. I was like, okay, maybe I'll go to Quebec because it's easy to immigrate during that time. And then the only struggle with Quebec is that they have completely different immigration rules, and then you have to learn how to speak French. So it's easy to immigrate, but then the one of the major requirement would be you have to speak the French, right? I think the level that they need is B2, which I tried. So I tried to practice using a Duolingo app, but then I said, no, I'm not gonna do this. I can't learn French like that fast, right? So now I searched for another school, and then I found Nova Scotia. I said it's easy to immigrate in Nova Scotia, and then I found NSCC because you don't have any option when it comes to community college. It's only NSCC. That's it. And then
Yeah.
the only downside in Atlantic, the program always starts on September. So now I like during that time I already missed the admission for September. So now I have to take the January intake. And the only January intake during that time was like business administration. I was like, okay, this is my only option. So now, okay, I'm gonna take business administration. But as you know, guys, that I finished business administration accounting, right? But at first, when I submitted my application, my concentration was business administration in software information management. I took that concentration because that is related to my job. I work in a digital company. I said this is going to fit me, so it's easy for me to explain it on my study plan. So, but then when I was like doing my fast track, I started on January 2018. Okay, January 2018. I finished my first year in April 2018. Am I correct? Yeah. So that's like the first year. I know the first semester. And then the second semester of my first year started in April till June 15. So the fast track program, it's very stressful, to be honest. So I only have June 15 till end of August to have that summer break. So I have less summer break. So if you're looking at fast track program and then you're going to rely on your summer break to pay for your second year, it's not gonna work. So I started my second year
Mm.
September to May. So that's like overall 16 months. But yeah, so the only downside on my program is going to be stressful, and then you need to have that money, you need to have that fund right away. So, and then I changed my concentration. Before I I changed it in June 15. I said I'm not gonna take this software information management. I'm gonna take accounting. So you have the option to change your concentration if you're going to take the business administration program. So that's with NECC. I'm not pretty sure with other schools. Yeah. So that's about my program.
I see. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, MC. Yeah. So as what she said, the fast track program is not very ideal if you want to save up for your next semester's tuition fee. That's what ring the bell because I'm so thankful with the summer job with the summer
Yes.
time during my program because I was able to work full time. You can even work more than full time, like maybe get another part time so you can save up, right? So that's like
Yeah.
yeah, I think if you take 2 year program, fast track, then you'll finish fast, right? So if you don't have problem with
Yes.
money, why not take fast track? Right?
Actually, I have I think there's a good side as well
Yeah.
because if you're going to finish right away, you get a full-time job right away. Your rate is not going to be like the same as a student, right? You
Yeah.
can ask for more. You can bargain now because you have your diploma.
Hmm.
So,
That's
yeah.
right. And it's good for example if you're catching up with age and you want to finish as fast as
Yes,
you
yes.
can, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Like because the every year you're gonna have 5 points deduction for your CRS score. So
Mhm.
if
It's
that's
true.
something that you're looking at, then you might as well take a look at fast track programs, right?
Yeah, and then you're
Yeah.
going to get 3 years post graduation work permit as long as each program as like for me it's different. It's total of 4 semesters, so that's why
Okay.
I got 3 years
So that's
post
equivalent to yeah. So that's still
two-year
3 years.
program.
Yeah, yeah. 3 years
Yeah.
PGWP. That's good to know.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's move on to Jason, who took 1 year plus 1 year plus co-op, which is very interesting actually.
It's
Let us hear from
complicated.
Jason. Yeah.
All right. So yes. So I took two programs. Each program has 1 year. So my first program was the Global Hospitality Management. So for this program, there are 3 semesters. 2 semesters are academic. It means to say in a classroom setup, and then 1 semester is co-op. So if you say co-op, it is actually cooperative education. So meaning it is a combination of classroom-based education with practical work experience. So practical work experience meaning it's like an internship. So the good thing about this program, the co-op program, is that I was able to look for a job which was actually paid as well. But take note that co-op program semester is actually included in my term or in my program. So even if I was having my internship, I was paid as well with my co-op. So my second program was Global Business Management, and it also has 2 academic semesters. So the total semesters that I attended was 4 semesters. The reason why just 4 semesters instead of 5 semesters, like what I mentioned, 3 for the global hospitality and 2 for the global business management. But the thing is, I just took all of my programs for 4 semesters instead of 5. And by the way, I'll be telling you the reason why and in the highlights of my student life later on. Why was it really important to strategize, especially if you are looking for a program? Because when I was doing my co-op, like Melanie said earlier, I had my full time, which is the co-op, and also I looked for a part-time job because you can also work more than 20 hours aside from your co-op as well. And that time, I was like, I was really working so hard because I really needed to earn money to spend or to earn for me to pay for my next semester. So and luckily I was able to gather the amount of my next semester. So it's really important for me to get a, it's also an option for you to earn money so that you can also use it for your next semester as well, or even in your expenses during here in Canada as an international student.
Yeah, that's so smart, Jason. It
Mhm.
looks like very,
Oh,
very well planned. Yeah.
I want to add something. So I just want to like differentiate the co-op and the placement because I had the placement. So I in part of my program I had like a 1 month placement, but that is not paid. So I think the difference between co-op and the placement is not paid and co-op is paid. So yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Good to know.
Actually, I think every school have different co-op programs because in my in chemical lab tech we also have co-op program, but I didn't avail it because it's gonna extend my my course to 3 years. So I'll study for 2 years. I'll have co-op for 1 year. Yes, I will be paid during the 1 year, but it's gonna extend my study and it's gonna extend my PR application, which is not in favor for me because the the age I'm not getting any younger. So I think if you really want to go co-op, just like Jason here, you have to make sure you check with your international center how does it work, because sometimes co-op, if it's mandatory, yes you can take it, but if it's optional you cannot take it. Schools have different requirements or different rules regarding that co-op, but it's a very good opportunity for you to put your foot in the door, right? To step into the company, for you to be known in the company, and maybe after school they can hire you, right? There's a very good possibility, just like what happened to Jason, right?
And in
So
addition for that, regarding co-op, during my global hospitality, I knew someone that she had her co-op in a company, but it wasn't paid. So the thing was is that it really depends on the program. It really depends on the company that you will go as well. So if you have a co-op program, as early as possible, look for a company. It's up to you. If you will be looking for a company that gives you opportunity that you will be paid. So of course, we really prefer to get paid co-op, but make sure that you were also informed that not all co-op companies can pay you as well.
I see. Thank you very much. Yeah. So there you go. Those are the information about co-op and placement. So since we are talking about our programs now, why don't we give them an idea of the tuition fees for our programs, right? So what we prepared here is so we all took different programs, right? So what we prepared is that for each program we search for the corresponding program in our school. So Jason, let us know about your program. How much does it cost?
All right. So I had two programs. The first one was Global Hospitality Management. So total of two academic semesters and one co-op semester. So total of 17,000 Canadian dollars. So actually, the big amount, the huge amount that you're gonna be paying, will be the first and second semesters. But the third semester, which is co-op, you just need to pay for the I think student insurance. It's like $500 for the whole semester. But the thing is, like for the 8,000, I mean, the half and half of the 17,000 was paid during the first and second semester. So again, global hospitality management was is 17,000 Canadian dollars. So for my second program, global business management. So for 1 year, the cost or the tuition fee is 16,000 Canadian dollars. So that's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So all in all, like in a span of like 2 years, how much did you pay?
So if gonna be that's it. So like so for 2 years, if you will be adding summing it up these two programs, it's gonna be of course like 33. Yeah.
That's about,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Mhm.
okay.
1,000.
Okay.
Mhm.
I see. Wait, let me just get MC back here. I think she's lost. Okay. Wait. Okay. Yeah. So okay, she's here. Okay, you're back. Yay.
I closed it. I'm sorry. Okay.
I hope it. I
I
hope
just
it will
walked
not.
out.
Yeah, I hope it will not happen to me if I closed it. We'll all be gone. Yeah. Okay. Are you good? Everything's fine. Like MC. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah. I just closed it.
So Jason just shared his program. It's about 30. So you said 33,000, right? So I looked up your program at SAIT, Jason. At SAIT, they don't have that. I think they don't have that global hospitality management plus global business management, but they have a 2-year diploma of hospitality management, and first year is 20,500. Second year is 18,000. So that's about 38,000 for the program, but it's a 2-year program. It's all
Okay.
about hospitality management. There's another option for hospitality and tourism management, and the first year is about the same, 20, and then second year is 18,000. So there's like two types of programs that's related to you there. So
Mhm.
averaging about 38,000 for 2 years.
Okay.
What about at BCIT, Rachel?
Okay, so first thing that I want to start off with is by emphasizing to the viewers out there that as an international student, you are likely or you will pay 3 times more than domestic students for tuition fees. So,
Yeah.
right off the bat, I just want to say that it is in fact pricey and expensive to study in Canada. And with that, I paid a little over 14,000 Canadian dollars for my 1 year program at BCIT.
Mm-hmm.
And my 1 year education in Canada is almost the same price that I paid for my 5 year program in the Philippines. A little insight there for you guys. Yeah, I was a scholar in University of Asian Pacific, so I did pay only half of the tuition fees, but and it's around the same price. My 1 year for BCIT is the same price for my 5 year education in the Philippines.
Mm.
Um, for those that are planning to take the same program at BCIT, the tuition fee is now at 14,798. So just for your information.
Yeah.
And
What
um,
have you searched about like Jason's program?
yes.
Yeah. How much is it over there?
So for example, if I were to take a program that MC took, for
Uh,
example, start
yeah.
like
For
which was
yeah.
business administration in accountancy, there are actually two programs similar to that offered at PCIT. So one is called business administration. It's a general course. It's an 8 month accelerated program, and the total tuition there is 16,464. But personally, I wouldn't go for the 8 month option if your choice is to immigrate to Canada, because you'll only be given the same length as
Mm. Yeah.
postgraduate permit.
That's right.
But
8 months, right?
another program is also offered called accounting. It's a 2 year program at PCIT, and the total tuition for that is at $40,131. So, yeah, it's quite expensive.
A
For your
lot.
program, Melanie, which was chemical laboratory technology. Wow.
Yeah.
There's actually, I searched it up. There's actually a similar program offered at BCIT as well, and it's named Chemical and Environmental Technology. So it's kind of, well, there's a
Mhm.
chemical.
Yeah. Yeah. It's somehow related. Yeah.
It's somehow related. It's a 2 year program offered at BCIT, and the total tuition for that is at 40,000 as well. 40,182 Canadian dollars.
It's not that far. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really expensive. So for Jason's program, which was Global Hospitality Management and Global Business Management. BCIT also has a 2 year program named International Business Management, and this is from the two other programs I've mentioned, the most expensive, which is at $40,481 Canadian dollars.
For 2 years.
Wow.
For 2 years?
2 years. So that's when I noticed. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
the 1 year programs are usually hovering at like 15 to 17,000. But then when you hit 2 years, it
They
jumps
will
right
like
away.
charge you.
So that's
Yeah.
like insane. But I guess that's the price you pay for having a postgrad work permit and working like 3 years for any employer across Canada. So you pay
That's right.
a hefty price for staying longer in
Yeah,
Canada.
that's
I think because it's in Vancouver.
yeah, that's a big
That's
factor too.
expensive.
That's a big factor too. Yeah, I think let's go back to Jason, all the programs. Maybe let's go back to Jason's to Conestoga, right? So
Yeah.
Jason, what about our programs in Conestoga? How much does it cost?
All right. So for you, Melanie, we don't have that kind of program. But what I saw was biotechnology technician. It is a 2 year program, and it has a total of 4 semester. So 4 semesters, and per year, it's gonna be 15,000. So like, for 4 semesters, is more or less like 30,000 Canadian dollars. All right,
Oh,
and
30.
for yeah, and
That's not bad.
for Rachel, I didn't find a specific program, but what I see is like the design foundation. It is just actually 1 year program with a total of 2 semesters. So the total cost or the tuition fee is 15,000 Canadian dollars.
Mm,
So it's
right
like,
about there, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So with MC, we also have Conestoga also has business administration accounting, but it is a 3 year program, and the
Mhm.
total and it has a total of 6 semesters. Yeah, and per year you will be paying for 15,500 Canadian dollars. So roughly like 45.
Kill me now.
So 15
Right?
for a year?
Yeah, 15,000 per year.
And then for 2 years?
for
30,
three
right?
years.
For
Years.
3 years.
Do you want
Oh, man.
do you want to hear NSCC?
Okay, actually, it's your turn
Yeah,
now.
Do you want
we'll
to
hear
hear
from
mine?
NSCC.
So NSCC, I tried to like search for your program, Melanie. Chemical, what's your program again?
Chemical
Chemical
lab
lab
tech.
technician.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could not find that one, so maybe it's not in demand in Nova Scotia. So, but for design and hospitality, they NCC has that. However, when you look at their tuition fee, it's pretty standard, really. You're gonna pay 11,800. Like this year, 11,350. That's your like base tuition fee. I think the only difference is that if you're going to pay for the laboratory, if you're going to pay for your practicum, then it's gonna add up. But like the base tuition fee, it will be the same, whatever you take. And yeah, that's what I noticed because they only give like the
11,000
same
for a year?
11,350 right now, but I think next year going to increase. Every
That's so
year
cheap.
they increase the tuition fee.
Yeah.
So yeah, like 40,000. Oh my god, I could
That's
not
for two
afford
years
that.
though. Yeah, so
40,000.
and
Yes, I mean
yeah.
I could not afford that.
MC was saying at NSCC it's 11,000 for a year. So if you took 2 years program, so that's just gonna be times two, right?
Like 20 plus, you know.
Yeah,
But
roughly
you
there.
have to, but this is only the base tuition fee. You have to
Yeah.
add up the tuition fee, like they call it international student fee. That's
Mm-hmm.
around 1,000 Canadian dollars. And then you have to add up your application fee, your student association fee. So there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of miscellaneous fee. And then
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to take nursing, then they might have to pay for the practicum as well. So it really depends on the program, but they have the same base tuition fee across the board. Yeah.
I see. Okay, that's easier to remember. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'd say yeah, I mentioned about Jason's program. That's about 38,000 per for 2 years, right? So 20 and 18. And for MC's program, which is business administration, They also have that diploma at SAIT. So there's 2 years diploma. So when I was researching about it, it also mentioned that it's a common first year. The subjects are common for first year, and then
Mhm.
for first semester, and then for second semester you have an elective wherein you can
Oh,
choose among accounting, financial services, HRM, management, marketing, and supply chain management. Then later
don't you
on,
guys have that? Don't you guys have elective? I got
we don't.
elective.
We don't.
Oh,
For
really?
my
I
for
can
my program,
choose.
it's
Like,
all like, yeah, it's
it's like a
everything.
black. Oh, really? So
Yeah,
sometimes
I
we
guess.
can choose like. So like
Mhm.
if we have 7 courses or AKA subjects, I have this 6 subjects like that's fixed. But one course would be you can take horticulture or you can take whatever course you want.
Oh, mhm.
So
That's
that's like
nice.
our like
We had that way back in University of the Philippines, but here they don't have that for my course
yeah.
because I guess it's just 2 years, and they want to really like put everything into 2 years so that you'll be career ready when you're after 2 years. So maybe that's their focus. But for business administration at SAIT, yeah, that's what I was saying, right? The common first semester, elective, and second semester, and then second year you have to choose your major or business admin. So it can either be those things I mentioned. Yeah. Yes,
I want to
MC.
add something. Since like business administration has like a lot of concentration, I just like remember that there's another concentration. It's like an open program. That's an open
Mhm.
concentration. You can pick whatever subject. You can mix it. You can have a mix of
Oh,
marketing. You can have a mix
oh,
of
that's nice.
accounting. So that one is good if you're looking at going to university. It's going to be 2+2 program, two in
Mm.
college and then two in university. That's gonna be
Oh.
a
So
degree now.
an option when you want to go to get a degree, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
that's nice. So for this business admin in at SAIT, the first year is 18,686. Actually, second year is the same. So that's about 37,000 as well for 2 years. But that already include the tuition fee, the SAIT's fee, and insurance too, health and dental plan.
Ah,
So
it
that's
covers
already
everything.
part of it. Yeah, yeah. So for Rachel, your course is Communication Design Essentials, right? So
Mhm.
I've looked it up. There's a 2 year diploma program for that at SAIT. It's called Graphic Communications and Print Technology.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's somehow related, right? When
Yeah.
you
It's,
were discussing it with us. Yeah, so it's also a 2 year program. The first year is 17,000.
mhm.
17,495, and second year is 16,724. So what, that's about also hovering at 35,000, 36,000, right?
Oh
Yeah, so yeah, but that's already included everything that I mentioned. The all the miscellaneous
Oh,
everything.
that's nice. Yeah, just looking back at it, I feel like if my parents are watching this right now, they're like, "Oh my God, we save an awful lot." But
Yeah, I
like,
think
just for us,
compare
To Nova Scotia, maybe.
they want you to study at Nova Scotia. Yeah, there's another school in Calgary. It's called Bow Valley College. It's actually cheaper than SAIT. Yeah. But they just have more programs at SAIT. Like my program, Chemical Laboratory Technology, they don't have that at Bow Valley because probably the facility, right? In order for you to have a chemical lab, you should be accredited and you should have all the necessary safety, right? So that you'll be able to run that program. So when I was studying, my tuition fee is about 40,000. So that's 10,000 per semester. But right now, when I went back to SAIT website, it's actually more expensive. So it's now
yeah.
20, the first year is 21,000 and then the second year is 20,000. So I
Wow.
guess
Oh
they
my
increased a little bit.
god.
I feel so bad for those students that I'm telling them they'll have to study at SAIT and
No,
it's so expensive.
because of inflation.
Inflation, exactly. I
But
was gonna say.
yeah, you
But
guys have to
actually,
like jump into Canada now. Don't wait
exactly.
until like
Right. But
inflation like
actually,
go crazy, right?
looking back, that expensive tuition fee is all worth it because at SAIT it's very convenient to study. Everything is available, and you'll have
Yes.
access to scholarships or grants that can lower your tuition fee. It's just up to you if you want to, right? So, yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
Those are the comparison of the tuition fees. So we really exerted an effort, at least a little bit of that, to give you the comparison, right? So I think it's MC School who's cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Technically,
Yes. So you go to NSCC now. Apply.
MC beat us by
But again, it really depends on the program. Like for you, Melanie, you went to SAIT because of like you have the specific program that you like, right? What if your program is not at NSCC? So
yeah,
that's why you have to
exactly.
like, run it
Yeah,
with
yeah,
others.
yeah. Yeah, and it will also depend on your PR pathway. So remember, guys, tuition fee is just one thing, right? So
Yes.
if you want to come to Canada to study and immigrate, you have to look further ahead to the PR pathway, right? So
Yes.
that's
And also
another
like you
discussion topic.
yes. So and also like you just don't want to just immigrate, right? You want to do what like the job that you want, right?
Exactly,
And
exactly.
invest to that.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for all those information. Let's go quickly about, let's discuss quickly, just quickly about the LOA process, like how to secure a seat at SAIT, at Conestoga, BCIT, and NSCC. So I know we've been through this process for like 3 years ago, so it might have changed right now. I know it at SAIT it changed a lot, right? So let's just give them a bit of the background. Like probably if it changed, just let us know in the comment section because we
You have
experienced
to
this three
double
years
check.
ago. We're just gonna share our what we experienced during our time. Yeah, MC, can you start? Yeah.
So for NSCC during our time, I think until now, they don't have any, you know, third parties that can help you to go to the college. So you have to go directly to the admission, and then they have that portal, my NSCC portal. So they create that once you pay for the application. You have that account, and then you enter all your information in there, and then once you enter it, you have to submit your credential to the school. But as far as I know, as far as I remember, and I think until now, they will only accept the credential if it's directly from your institution, like from your college, let's say in the Philippines, or from like from your country.
Mm.
You cannot send it directly to your school by yourself. You cannot
Really?
send the scan copy. No.
Oh,
So
wow!
you
It's like ETA.
they're very strict, really. So it needs to go to school. So school can send it via email, but it needs to have that signature of the school. So you have to ask the school. And then same
Mm.
thing, paper based. If you're going to send it, needs to be enclosed in an envelope, official envelope of your institution in the Philippines. So
Wow.
process it's a bit you know tedious, and the processing time of LOA during my time was like 2 weeks, but now it's because there are a lot of students now wanna go to Nova Scotia, so I think it's gonna be more than 2 weeks now. Let's say
Mm.
3 4 weeks. So yeah, the application fee during our time was 75. I think until now it's still the same. I'm not pretty sure. And then you have to pay for the deposit. So during our time, my deposit was around 500 to secure a seat. That's non-refundable. Okay, it's only refundable if you got a visa refused. I'm not sure if it's still refundable, but I'm pretty sure it's non-refundable. And
Yeah.
then I think right now it's going to be around 1,000 Canadian dollars to secure your seat. And again, it's still the same. It's non-refundable. Different school, they have different policy when it comes to refunding your deposit. So make sure that you check that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Jason?
All right. So for me, as I had mentioned, I was under with an agency, but was I remembered like of course educational credential that I provided was, of course, my bachelor's degree diploma, transcript of records during my university as well, and also English as a medium of instruction. So this English of medium of instruction is that it's like a certification from your university in your home country, indicating that you are your medium of instruction, of course, is in English. So that I was not able, I didn't need to take an IELTS or English test as entrance test in at Conestoga College. So also, as I have researched for the Conestoga College, you will need to register at ontariocolleges.ca. Again, like you need to register at ontariocolleges.ca. So this is for you to create an international application to Conestoga College. And then after that, you need to pay for 100 Canadian dollars as application fee. So after paying for 100 Canadian dollars, you would just need to pay. You just need to wait for the result of your LOA. So as for me, the timeline that I got my LOA was like after a week. But I have some friends. I know someone that she got again her LOA from Conestoga College after a month. So most are roughly like for 30 days. And then the validity of the LOA that was given to us, of course, is just for 30 days. And then the non-refundable at for Conestoga College is 1,500 Canadian dollars. So that's a huge amount that you can be refunded, of course. And then I just knew that, for example, especially for this pandemic season, for example, you supposedly applying for intake this September, last September rather, and then you didn't have your result, or you didn't get any result or advice from IRCC. So you must of course defer. So for Conestoga College, you can just only defer for twice. Again, it's going to be twice having defer. But if ever your application hasn't been provided by IRCC, you need to withdraw your application to from Conestoga College. So you can refund the other fees, but not the 1,500 Canadian dollars.
Okay. Yeah, so you have to make up your mind. Yeah, and do your best with the application.
Oh, by the way, sorry. I just want to add, like what I mentioned, I had 1+1 program. So
Yeah.
initially, my agency provided in the OntarioColleges.ca, the third party for international application. They already input there the two programs that I really wanted to take. So when Conestoga College provided me an LOA, it also indicated the two programs. So I didn't apply for another program here in Canada. So it continuously applied for me here in Canada. So again, the LOA that I received that time was already for two programs.
And you got the study permit for the two programs, right?
Yes, I also got for
okay.
two programs as well.
But do you have the option to just take the first program and
Exactly. So, for example, if
okay.
I had the 2 years of studying, if and then if I decided to like have just only 1 year, that's fine. But of course, for me, I decided to go 2 years so that I can have the 3 years teaching the as well.
Exactly. Oh, okay. That's
I
nice.
thought you had to
So,
like apply twice for a study permit.
Yeah. So I made, of course, I made a video about that in my YouTube channel. So if you want to know more, it's a letter of acceptance.
yeah. What were you saying, Rachel? Sorry.
No, it's good to know that like he didn't have, like Jason didn't have to apply for it twice.
Exactly, right? Because some people they took 1 year program, they get a study permit for 1 year program, and then they have to apply for another study permit for the second
Yeah.
program. But that's good for Jason. Maybe because it's kind of related, right? And it's that's good.
I
So
think
at SAIT, so
depends
I
on the
tried
school.
sorry.
I think it depends on the school, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
school
probably.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So at SAIT, when I applied, I actually tried to apply February 2016. Imagine that, way, way back to February 2016. So when I applied for Feb 2016 for September 2016 intake, the program that I want is already closed. So they didn't give me the seat for that program. I was like waitlisted until August last week. I was like, what's happening? I don't have time to apply for study permits. So they told me I'm on wait list. I'm like another 10 more people in the wait list. So there's no chance for me. So the moment it opened for the next year, fall 2017, I applied immediately. So I applied October 2016 for September 2017 program. Imagine that. So that's what I'm telling those people who wants to study chemical lab tech at SAIT. It's a very, very in-demand program at SAIT. So
Yeah.
and they only take, I think, 30 or 35 students per year. So you have no chance of getting in if you apply late. So you have to apply early. If you want to go to that program for September 2021, you should apply now because it's open. Yeah. So what happened is I applied October. I got my LOA January. It's kind of long actually. But when I was trying to search for the process right now, I saw a lot of students who actually just waited for a month or less than a month and they got their LOA. And it's not chemical lab tech program, but it's also at SAIT. So I guess it still depends on what program you're enrolled in, right? So during my time, the application fee is just $50. Right now, it's $150.
Wow.
What inflation can do? So it's $100 more. Yeah. So yeah, but the process remains the same. It's what happened is you have to go to Apply Alberta, and then from Apply Alberta, you'll go to SAIT website. And the good thing about SAIT, it's like you can upload your documents online, so you don't have to send like what is at NSCC. You don't have to actually ask your school to send it. So that's pretty good at that part, right? Yeah. So and last time their non-refundable deposit is just 250, and now I think it's about 1,500. I am not really sure. Just double check it from the website. Yeah. So that's at SAIT. So they have a very good international center. If you want to know more about it, just drop them an email, and you can yeah, they will answer you for that one. Yeah. So what about at BCIT, Rachel?
So at BCIT, I applied directly to the school itself. So I didn't have any help from an agency. And the beauty about BCIT is that they're very techie. So I applied by signing up to their student portal. And it's also just a matter of like dragging and dropping or uploading files. And then the correspondence was fast. So from there, I submitted the following documents. I submitted my IELTS test results, the academic test results, my official transcript, my degree diploma, my bachelor's degree diploma. And because it's a graphic design course, I had to submit a design portfolio of like 5 to 8 pieces or pages. I also included a resume so that they know a little bit about my background. Um, the application process for the program, it only took me a total of 1 month, but it actually felt way longer because I was still in undergrad finishing my engineering degree while I was applying to BCIT. But to understand the process, though, I'll give you guys a short timeline of how I got my letter of acceptance. So May 1st was when I lodged it. May 18 is when I got an interview with the program head. May 24 is when I received my conditional acceptance, and that's where I paid a non-refundable commitment fee of 1,000 Canadian dollars. And I paid right away because it was due like 2 weeks later, but I paid right away. And then on May 31st, at the end of the month, that's when they issued me my official letter of acceptance. And it was only valid until October 2017, which was actually the first day of school. So that's about it for my
I
case.
see. Yeah, so I think commonly we have the same process, right? For the application, for the process, for the LOA application. So, guys, if you want to know more about it, you can always go to the respective school's website, and it's more updated than our experience. We just want to let you know what we experienced for that one. Yeah, so there you go. Those are the overview. It's already an hour. Those are the information about our school. We want to share with you a little bit about our student life, right? When we were still studying, what's a day in the life when we are a student, and what's the highlight and the struggles, or what's our mistakes, right? What did we do wrong during our student life, and that we want you to learn so that you will not do it, right? Yeah, so maybe let's discuss a little bit about the setup on in each school, right? So Jason, can you give us an idea what's a day in the life of a student at Conestoga College?
So for Conestoga College, as I can see, okay, in the main campus, I feel like in my program there are like two types of just only two nationality from the Philippines and also from India. So
Really?
Oh,
yes, in my program.
that's
So like,
interesting.
when I came here in my agency, we were like more than 20 international students who were also Filipinos. So in one class, like maybe 60% are Indians and 40% were also Filipinos. So usually, of
Hmm.
course, in my case, I was usually with my Filipino friends, and especially, for example, we have assignments, researches, reviews, or I prefer to go with them because like easy to understand, easy to communicate, of course, and also I also had five roommates. We used to live in a townhouse as well. So yeah, so we were
Oh.
classmates. We were in the same house like that. So the good thing about in my case, like it's easy for me to deal with other classmates, especially for doing our school stuff. And for me, to be honest, my goal here in Canada is really like just to finish my studies. I didn't really like look for I wanted to have a high grades or no, for me that's my real focus. Of course each of us has different focuses and goals, but for me I just need to pass my subjects, my courses, my program. I need to support myself. That is my main goal. Supporting myself meaning I need to look for a part-time job. Of course we can only work for 20 hours per week, but still it is also important as a student, like 20 hours per week is not really important. I mean, it's not really enough to support yourself for the tuition fee, but for your expenses as well. But that's the reason why that I was really fortunate that I had my co-op. Just for my co-op is that was the time that I earned money to support myself, especially for the next semester or tuition fee for my next semester. And that is the most important factor for me being a student. But that will be it. Like it's really about more schools. I mean, the classroom setup is more on presentation, more group discussion like that, and research as well. So for those of you who are really like looking for Philippine setup and Canadian setup, for me it's kind of different, but as early as now, look for the what we call the APA. What is it in the APA? The acronym for the APA again? Sorry, the American.
I don't know. It's
Oh,
public.
the
I don't know what's EP.
Oh, sorry. For the APA is like for example, like you are looking for a doing new research, which is really important. So for the
Oh, I know the yeah, the
in
format for references. Is
references
it?
so that
Oh, okay, okay.
you won't be tagged as like a plagiarism as well. So
Yeah, yeah, that's very important. Yeah.
especially here in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very important. I remember that. So for my day in the life at SAIT, so because I was taking a chemical lab tech program, it's basically laboratory course. So most of our hours we're actually in laboratory. We have laboratory classes that runs to 4 hours. Sometimes in a every day, like towards the end, every day we have laboratory. So what I will say is it's quite hard to have a part-time while studying chemical lab tech, but it's possible. Okay, it's just quite hard to manage your time because usually the classes in the lab starts at early morning 8 up until 3, and you'll be tired at the end of the day. So yeah, I was able to do part-time jobs during my first and second semester, but I dropped it after the second semester finals because I want to focus on my studies. So unlike Jason, my purpose for studying is it's also for permanent residency, but actually it's like my, how do I say, hiatus from working, my rest from working for 10 years. So I wanted to rest a bit, and studying was my rest. So I really enjoyed my student life when I was at SAIT. I studied and I relearned stuff, and I enjoyed working with instruments and my classmates as well. You know how they say the best way to learn is to teach.
Yeah.
So I know the things already because I'm kind of familiar with the stuff, right? So my classmates, we will all study together and we will learn together. So that's a fun part for me because I get to teach them and I get to learn as well. So it's a very good experience. And the facilities at SAIT, it's very good. Like the library, the best. I really enjoy their library. Yeah, everything is there. Like
Mhm.
even your phone charger, you can borrow it. Your camera, you can borrow it. Even a ruler or a stapler, you can borrow it from the library. So I really enjoyed my life at SAIT. Yeah. So I guess let's move on to Rachel.
Okay, so yeah, so for classroom setup at BCIT, my class size was very similar to my experience in the Philippines, and it was small. Our class size was around 28 students, if I'm not mistaken. And unlike Jason's, our group was very diverse. There were all kinds of people from all walks of life. Like I'm speaking in my class, but also outside, like BCIT as a whole. So it's very varied. There were only three international students though in my class, and I was one of them. So it was a very like nice feeling to know that I got in the program as an international student. There were in the Philippines, we had to bring our own laptops. So we basically had like chairs and a projector set up. But like in Canada, it's like it felt like the facilities were way better because we worked on an iMac. Each of us had our own iMac that
Provided by the
Wow.
school.
Wow.
we
Okay, the
only had.
tuition fee, the tuition fee is worth it.
Yeah, we paid for a
Yes.
laptop, right? Like for 1 year. Yeah, and that helped us deal with heavy applications like Adobe, Photoshop. So
Yes.
yeah, just being there, and the fact that I went to two schools, so BCIT and like Emily Carr, I got to enjoy both in like settings, school settings, because Emily Carr is more aesthetic, more artsy. It feels like an art gallery when you enter the reception area. So because all the art students display their projects around the school. In terms of school vibe, I'd say like the BCIT campus is considered small compared to other campuses in the lower mainland. But to me, it felt so big because I came from UANP, and it's actually a pretty small university along Ortigas. But in terms of vibe, learning at BCIT was very hands-on. I mean, that's the whole point of what we're trying to advocate, very applications based. And so students had their own little bubbles of learning in their respective field. And contrary to like what I studied in the Philippines, BCIT is not like a businessy school. I'd say most students are dressed very casually. And then
Yeah.
for my relationship with my with the other students there, I had a very close relationship with them, but it is very different to the closeness that I felt with my classmates in the Philippines. So I feel like Jason, right? Like you're mostly with the Filipino group, so you kind of understand that sense of belongingness and that level of closeness you feel with a Filipino student in your class. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess I think it was hard for me to bond because maybe it was the setting too. Like Vancouver is a very hectic, busy like city, and people have some like they have their own lives, like, and they have things to do outside of school. So like usually after class we all just go our separate ways. And
Yeah.
but I mean, I do appreciate the connection that I did build with them inside the classroom. But yeah, I do miss the closeness I felt with my friends in the Philippines. So if my blockmates
Mhm.
are watching,
Yeah, if they're watching, right? Yeah. Thank you, Rachel. What about MC at Nova Scotia Community College?
Okay, a day in a life in Nova Scotia. You wake, you wake up, you go to school. So we go around 8 a.m. and then we'll stay till 3:30. So that's like the timings in Nova Scotia, NSCC. So there's only one day or maybe 2 days in a week where you have half day. But basically, if I have half day, I spend that the rest of the day until 9 p.m. in our laboratory to do my all my assignments. Because on
Mm.
the weekend I have to work.
Mm.
So that's like my a day in the life when I was
Time
like in school
time
before.
management,
And
right? School and work. Yeah.
yes, I kind of prefer to work during weekends. So I have like, you want to batch it. You want to work on weekends. You want to do school on weekdays. And then, what else? Like facilities, we don't have that amazing facilities that you have, guys. Because again, the tuition fee that we're paying is 11. Why are you laughing, Jason? But I because I studied in a like a small town in Nova Scotia. But if you go to Halifax, they have like huge, not huge, but pretty decent campus. So that's like a waterfront. You're in front of the harbor. You have that amazing view. But they have the library. They have like student support as well. But for me, for my program, I only need calculator and book and then a computer. That's it. I don't need like fancy things for me to learn. And then I have my laptop, so that's it. I survive having my personal laptop with me, but I prefer using the desktop. So that's why I stayed so late in school. So yeah, but you have I kind of managed my time when I was like in school. And then with my friends in school, I think we were like 21 in a class.
That's a small
It was
class.
we were
that's
yes,
small.
21. And then international students were like total of seven or eight, but different countries. So we're two Filipinas, and then there one Felix, so German, and then there's one from Jamaica, there's one from Mexico, and then the rest is from Canada. And then we have that really close relationship. So we go to like a house party after school. So it's completely different with Rachel. So Rachel is like
Mm,
after school separate, right? You go
yeah.
do your own thing. But for us, and then if it's like what do you call that in the Philippines, you have that break time. We go together, we eat together. So we're really close. And
Oh,
they're really friendly in Nova Scotia, to be honest. So I didn't feel that, you're from the Philippines, you don't belong. I didn't feel that, to be honest. I just feel I belong here. So and then after graduation, actually some of our classmates are here on the island. We moved together. So we're still friends until now. We still talk. So that's like a long-term relationship like after the program. It's like amazing. Yeah. That's like
That's good to know, right? You got like classmates and friends as well, right? That
yes,
not just yeah.
actually our instructor too. They're really, really helpful. And like after graduation we're still texting, we're still talking, social media. They're still
Mm,
checking on you like here, like right now it's COVID, you know.
yeah,
They're nice.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remember another thing at SAIT when I was studying. So, because after my second semester, my father died, and like one day before my program started. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna start my program, and my father dies. So I flew yeah, one day before the program, but my instructors, they're very supportive. Like they let
Yeah.
me, yeah, they let me go home. Well, they can they can stop me, but then they actually prepared. They let when I came back 2 weeks later, yeah, so I was able to catch up. They helped me catch up, even my classmates, right? So they were very supportive in terms of that personal matter, which I really appreciate, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's really very good. I think there's really, if you have a small class, like for us, there's only 30 of us, and then each semester some people are dropping, so it's getting less and less. So yeah,
Oh.
they have a personal touch to, personal involvement with each students, which I really really like and appreciate.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, thank you. So that's day in the life in a student at our respective school. Let's move on to some of the highlights of our student life, right? So maybe I'll go first. I'd say it, when I was studying, just like what I mentioned a while ago, I was um, I was resting, so technically I got nothing to do but study. So, which which I'm so thankful for my husband, because he allowed me to just study and not work, because you guys, right, you have to work so that you'll have money and everything, but he's so nice to let me just study, and he even work overtime so that we can save up for next semester tuition. But I had a good time at SAIT, so because of that I was able to study very well, and I was able to get good grades, and I was able to get a lot of scholarships and grants, actually. So that amounted to about $5,000, which
Oh,
is just
So good.
half of a semester, right? So even though I wasn't working, I was able to get money from school. So that's like a trade-off, right? I enjoyed my stay, I got money, so I didn't have to work and everything, right? So because of that, I had a lot of time to prepare for our permanent residency and all those, right? So I mean, each student has different scenario, different situation, so it might not apply to everyone or to anyone particular in particular. But yeah, that's an option too. If you're thinking about going to Canada, right, you can take this as a rest if you've been working for so long. So that's basically the highlight of my student life there. I really really enjoyed, yeah, studying at SAIT. Yeah, so let's hear from Rachel.
yeah. So, first thing that came to mind was like I'd always eat Tim Hortons before class. There's like one inside our campus, right? So, and I always pass by that before going to my
Wait, you have Tim Hortons in your school,
yeah,
inside your
inside
campus?
our school.
We
Yeah,
Oh
have
my
two
god, I
MC.
want
MC,
to
we have
have that.
two.
Yeah, we have.
We don't have that.
yeah, so it's always a
So
blast for me.
at
So,
SAIT, we have two Tim Hortons and one Starbucks, and
Really?
one
oh
second cup. One second cup. There's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. So
For us, it's like BY uh B. Bring your own baon.
bring your own food, okay. Aside from that, the one thing that I also appreciated, like the highlight, was also my classmates. It really like just being. We're only two Filipinos in class, and
Mm.
that kind of encouraged me or motivated me to like really get to know another person and their background. Um, I had a good laugh with them. I was able to bond more with them towards the end of our program, and I do appreciate the close bond that I still have with them up to this day. So I do keep in touch with some of my classmates over long breaks or whenever we're free. I also appreciated the fact that we had sleeping pods in our
Mm.
library.
Wow, we don't
Oh my
have that. We don't have.
god.
So it's like an egg, and then you get to put outside and
Wow.
you can close the door, and then you're just sleeping peacefully in the middle of the library.
Is there a time limit?
There's probably a time limit, but I never exhausted the full. I never slept all the way through to really give insight on that.
You just woke up like the next day.
So I usually go there like when I go like right after work and I still have a bit of time for my next class. I just sleep there or I chill in the library.
That's nice.
And then I also really enjoyed the facilities there. So I was actually a bit of a gym rat. Like I would spend my time after class at the gym. So I'd bring like all my workout clothes
Oh,
so that when I go home, like I would just crash.
Mm.
And
That's
yeah,
part of the tuition fee, right?
that's part of the tuition fee. And I
Yeah.
milk the cow out of it. Like I'm like, if I'm paying this much, I'm gonna get the most
yes,
out of
exactly.
education.
I actually just discovered the gym at SAIT towards the end. Like
Towards-
maybe it's like this.
You
Yeah, we
forgot
used to,
that there was one. Right?
yeah, there was one, but I didn't really enjoyed it that much at the start, but towards the end, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. MC,
What's our topic again?
the
Highlight.
highlights.
Highlight.
Highlight of my student life. Whenever there's a break, we always go somewhere. So it's like the highlight of my student life. So we always go to, like, if there's a 1 week break, we go to Quebec. If there's another break, we go to Ontario. So that's like the highlight of my student life because, like, in my school, there's nothing, you just go to school, go to work. Like, we go to gym, like a small gym, but it's like a province. What else can you do? You just have to enjoy the nature,
Mhm.
You have to go, like,
We are losing MC.
Rose.
like
Yeah.
Hello, MC.
sorry, it was like logging
Oh,
on
yeah.
my screen. So yeah, so that's what I did, and that was like the highlight. So that's why when I moved to like here to British Columbia, I miss Nova Scotia, like friends, and then the nature, the places that we went to. I miss those places, and
Simplicity
I think
life,
that's
eh?
like the highlight. Yeah, I could not
Thank you.
think of
Yeah.
anything.
Thank you, MC. Yeah. So what about Jason?
So for me, the highlight really is that when I took my programs, because like what I mentioned earlier, supposedly total of 5 semesters. But the thing is, the total, I mean, one semester co-op, and then 4 semesters of academic semesters supposedly. But luckily, instead of 4 academic semesters, I only did 3 academic semesters. The reason why was the global hospitality management and the global business management are kind of like related. So I credited 7 of my courses or 7 of my subjects. So instead of
Mhm.
paying for 4 semesters, I just paid 3 semesters. So
Perfect.
I saved 25% or I saved 8,000 Canadian dollars because of the credited subjects that I had before. And the thing is, I was really lucky to have this co-op, which was paid, and I was able to look for a part-time job more. For that, yeah, that's for me. That's the highlight of being international student here in Canada. So like what I always say is that. If you plan to be an international student here in Canada, you need to be strategic. You need to strategize what
Yeah.
program, what province, because like what I really suggest is that if you are going to a province, make sure that there is a immigration pilot program, provincial nominee program, so that you have higher chance of getting permanent residence as soon as possible. So same thing. If, for example, you're looking for a program, for me, that's the reason why I chose this program. Because like I really saved the 25% of my tuition fee, and that's a big, huge, and it really helped me a lot. And especially, I am like really supporting for myself. So that for me, that is the highlights of being international student in Canada.
Thank you very
Mhm.
much. Yeah, so Jason was able to save money and earn money. Perfect, Jason. That's good. Yeah, so we talk about the highlights. Now let's talk about the struggles and how we overcome the struggles of during when we were still international student. So would you like to start, Rachel?
Yes, of course. So, yes, with every country, there will be challenges and obstacles that you'd have to overcome. So, for example, money was an issue to most people coming to Vancouver. But in my case, I was very fortunate that I got the support from my family in terms of shouldering the expenses coming to Canada. So, my tuition fee was covered. I also didn't have to pay a lot for accommodations or rent because I had relatives in Canada, in Vancouver, who were more than welcoming to let me stay with them. And in fact, I only brought with me like an allowance of 1,000 Canadian dollars, which
Really?
I was very frugal to spend since I know that I would be paying the
Yeah.
expenses I incur in Canada by myself because I already felt like oh they did so much for me, so I kind of have to carry some of the load, and that's why
Mhm.
after 3 months of adjusting to the academic setting, that's when I looked for part-time work so that I can at least have more allowance and more money to save for things that I need and want living in Vancouver. So like I didn't have a phone for like a year or something. I just depended on Wi-Fi to and then I had to like my relatives are also very chill. They weren't very strict with me, so as long as I after class I'm back home, like they're fine with that. Part-time work was also a struggle. Like my first job was like a sales associate, and I'm very introverted, like I don't know how to socialize.
Are you? I don't see that.
Yeah, me too. I don't see
Well,
that.
because we're on the screen, but I feel like in person I'd be like meep. But yeah, I earned like minimum wage of $13 per hour, which like it doesn't seem it seems like a lot in pesos, but it's actually not enough to support your livelihood
Yeah.
in Vancouver, especially if I were to live on my own. Like I can't get by with that kind of money. But that's the kind of job that
Yeah.
I was able to attract because I mean I'm new to this country. So there's an understanding already for me that okay, I will start like lower, but you know, it's all a matter of like working my way up. So I guess my main
Yeah.
message here is like get all the support that you can get from your family and friends because it's such a breather and a
Yeah.
comfort to have that kind of support. Because otherwise, even if, for example, you're in the most sought after city in all of BC, which is Vancouver, if you're only earning that much, then you're not really living your best life. So, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the struggles that I had, like one of the hard pills that I had to swallow.
Hmm.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rachel. What about you, MC?
So again, I think we have the same, struggle. Like one of it is money. Okay. So you have to support yourself. You have to pay for it. Like Rachel is so lucky. Like for me, I have to pay my own tuition fee, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I also have to send money to the Philippines. I think that's like the common, not problem, but the common situation for Filipinos, right? You're going to study here, you have to pay your tuition fee, you have family back in the Philippines, you have to send money. So like you have to manage your money, and then like juggling work and then study. That's like a struggle for me as well. But I to overcome that, I just like worked so hard and then did some side business to support my family, and then my part-time job here in Canada, I use that to support myself. So I think like that's very important to share with you guys that if you have like if you cannot manage your time, your money, at the end of the day you will have a problem. So you have to like prepare yourself emotionally, financially, everything. So and then if you can help from your family members, right? Like I seek help from my siblings, like if you can, support my like our parents, like send money a little bit higher. No, it's not like gonna be the same. Like when I was like working in Dubai, we were making a lot of money. Like once you're here in Canada, you're gonna start from the bottom. You're not gonna make the same amount. That's like
Exactly.
a fact.
Right.
And then like what else? I think that's it. Like school, and then the money, and then like
Yeah.
struggling part-time job, and school.
Yeah. Thank you very much, MC. So what about you, Jason?
Well, I think like what I mentioned earlier, my real goal here in Canada is really like to work, right, and then
Mm-hmm.
also to get my permanent residence. So it's just a being an international student is just a stepping stone for me. So what I did was the struggle that I really thought that time was like I want to get a job as soon as possible when I got here in Canada. So what I did was, of course, like a one time. I mean, for 1 week when I came here in Canada for 1 week, I applied through online, and then and then after that, I didn't receive anything. Like I didn't receive any feedback yet because that was winter. That was the time that it was winter. So what I did on my second week here in Canada, I printed a lot of resumes from school. So what I did, I just went like door to door in different companies here in Canada. So struggle is like that doesn't. I mean, if you are here in Canada, that doesn't mean that you're rich. If you're not, that doesn't mean that everything will be fine. Everything's gonna be smoothly. You push
Yeah.
your up, it's not. Sometimes, like what MC said, even if in our age, well, like you need to still to think that it's real possible. There is a possibility that you will start from the bottom. So you
Mhm.
need to feel how hard it is going to other country, and then if you really are like really goal oriented, or really focused on what you really wanted, you know it will come to an end that you will get your goal. You will achieve what you wanted to be. So that's the time that if
Yeah.
you go here, make sure that you are ready, not just financially, emotionally, spiritually,
Yeah.
you know
Mentally.
everything, to be honest. So because I
Yeah.
had some classmates like from the Philippines as well. They're rich kids, and then when they came here, they didn't work like in the Philippines, but I mean,
Um,
he worked in a hotel, in a whole housekeeping. He was like scrubbing the toilet, and after that day, he was crying and he wanted to go back in the Philippines.
yes.
So
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
it. It's really important that just look at yourself if you are ready for any kind of situation here in Canada, because as early as now, strategize, like what I mentioned, strategize what you want to be, what you want to get in the future, especially if you are really like a strong person, that will help you to achieve your goal as well. So that's it.
Mm.
Thank
Mhm.
you very much, Jason. So my struggle during when I was an international student is somehow related to Jason too. So I have been working for like 9 to 10 years as a laboratory person, right? I'm a chemist. So I'm not really used to this kind of job, right? I worked in a burrito house, and I also work in a retail shop. And I remember there was one like I think just 2 weeks I worked in a produce. So we cut vegetables. I think I cut 1,000 broccoli and
Wow. Broccoli master.
like yeah. So because that's part of we have to earn. I remember that was for December, so there's a lot of orders and they have to pack a lot of vegetables and everything. So I had that part time. I had two part times during that the winter break because I want to earn money for the next semester. So I also like that kind of job is really really different. It's not my cup of tea, but I know I need to do it during that time because I need money, right? So I
Mm.
know also in my head it's temporary. It's not going to be permanent because I know after I studied, I'm going to be back to my profession and I'm going to be working as a chemist again. So that's one of the a bitter pill that you have to swallow. And for me, that's mainly the thing. And I think how I overcame it is just the mindset, right? And also, when before Canada, me and my husband, we are in long distance relationship. But since we are here in Canada, both of us, it strengthened our bond, right? It strengthened our relationship, and it made us even stronger, because this kind of hard things, right? When you experience it together, you'll be even more better together as a couple, right? So that's a struggle, but as the same, as well as also a blessing for us, because it turned out positive, right? So
Right.
that's something. So guys, it's not really it's not it's not a bed of roses in Canada, okay? So there are things that you should know. Yes,
Teacher, MC is raising her hands.
yes, MC.
Teach. So I forgot to share my part-time jobs too. So like that was my struggle too, because like I never worked in a restaurant before. I went, and then I came here. I did dishwash, like I was like a dishwasher for a few months, and then I felt like depressed. Is it like I think it was a mistake moving to Canada. You will feel that. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure you guys will feel that. And I overcome it.
yeah. But like I was
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
like sweeping floors too, and then like I had this like bad thinking of like, oh man, I finished engineering and I was like a scholar
Yes.
back in the Philippines, but why am I sweeping floors here in Canada? But it's all part. It's a humbling experience because
Yeah.
it really
Yes.
gives you another perspective of what it's like to immigrate to a new country.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's true.
Thank you very much, guys. We're in our last topic now. So I hope our viewers are still watching and waiting for the Q&A. So just for the last topic, can you tell me what's your biggest mistake or misconception as a student in Canada, or as everything in particular, like when you come here to Canada, apply as PR, and yeah, what is your biggest mistake or misconception? And can you also give tips to the international students who are studying and who are aspiring to be international students as well? So, MC, can you please start?
I'm still thinking. The biggest mistake? Is it like the struggle to? Is it
Yeah.
okay? Biggest mistake. Okay, I think I shared this to my video already. If you guys are my subscribers, but I think the biggest mistake would be first is when we move out of Nova Scotia right away, because as you know, it's easy to immigrate through AIPP, right, or PNP in Atlantic, but then we move out, and then after that we felt like we should have not done that. We should have stayed. So that's like our not the biggest, but we should have like maybe change it differently. We have maybe we can like stay a little bit longer, wait for our PR before we move out. And then I think another one is like the program. I would say I took a program because it's a January intake. I have to take any program that will start in January. So I think that was like one of the common biggest mistake of like international students. You will just get whatever program just to get in. You know, I think if I would like change my program, I would maybe take a digital marketing program. That would be interesting, right? Because right now into I'm into YouTube, and then I love editing videos, making content. So yeah, but anyways, past is past. I'm still
Yeah.
happy right now.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
your tips for the international student is not to rush, right? When you want
not
to
to
study
rush.
in January, you go to any program in January.
Yeah, not to rush, and you have to figure out what you want to do. So right now, I want to be not I want to be a YouTuber. It's not a profession, right? But I'm into video editing. I'm into creative marketing. So yeah, you have to find your passion. and then you're investing. Imagine, guys, 40,000, 20,000 Canadian dollars. You have to get a program that you think you're going to like pursue it here in Canada. It's not a joke, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much, MC. What about you, Jason?
Well, for me, similar as MCs is like, as you know, I took nursing in the Philippines and then global hospitality. When I am looking at for my like nursing friends here at Conestoga College, like they are now in Halifax, Nova Scotia, most of them. Then we were talking, and then they mentioned how much they are earning, and like it's really a huge amount per hour. It's really for if you're a nursery in Canada, especially this pandemic season. But you know what? Sometimes I was like thinking, what if I just took the nursing field like that? I was really like thinking, like sayang talaga. But the thing is, God is really like giving me the enlightenment, because for example, like being here in Canada is a blessing already. It means to say this is an opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity for me. And like he showed me how happy, how blessed I am with my program, like what I mentioned, right? It's just
Yes.
like I just paid 3 semesters in the co-op as well. Because like, to be honest, I don't know how will I get those money. Do I need to like ask someone to support myself? But of course not. So at the end of the day, all things happen for a reason. All things really, I mean, God has really a plan, the best plan for you and for all of us. So like
Exactly.
it's really important that you really need to trust in Him. You really needed to be the let Him be the driver of your life. And as a matter of fact, the most important tip that I wanted to share is like, again, strategize your pathway here in Canada as an international student. That is the most important thing that you need to consider coming here as an international student.
Thank you very much, Jason. I think you're always thinking what I'm thinking. So exactly the same thing. So for me, I think one of the biggest mistake, or I should say, yeah, mistake, but it turned out well, is that I didn't really search for other provinces. I was like, my aunt is here in Calgary, so I want to study in Calgary. So I only searched Calgary schools. I didn't even search in other provinces. I didn't even care about the Atlantic. I didn't care about Vancouver or whatever. But I just have like a laser focused Calgary search. That's all I did, and I know what I want. So I know that I want chemical lab tech. So I only searched that program. It's very narrow. Now that I'm looking at all the pathways and the possibilities that I can take, I could have just reversed my strategy. I could have just asked my husband to study, and I will be working. And after I get my 1 year experience, I can apply an express entry, and we could have been PR in 1 year and 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So that's one strategy that I could have done
Mhm.
if I knew all this process, right? Even before the start. So yeah, yes,
We
MC.
don't know during that time.
Yeah,
No one is like sharing
exactly.
this
So
information,
yeah,
right?
so exactly that's the point. So guys, that's why I created my YouTube channel. That's the purpose of that, because I wanted you guys to know what is the process here in Canada. You can, now that you're still in the Philippines or somewhere else not in Canada and preparing, you guys have the access to everything right now, and you guys have this kind of
Mhm.
information, right, shared by international students. So these are our,
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake, but it turned out very well as well, because
Yeah.
after my program, I was able to get a nomination. If not, I would have been extended to another 1 or 2 years. So just like what Jason said, God has plans. So it's probably not the best for us when we take that pathway, but yeah, so it turned out well for me. But then if I had that option, if I know that option back then, I could have like taken that pathway the other way. Yes, MC.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you get a full-time job, especially skilled A, B, zero,
Mm,
Like once you have that, that's like your ticket to your PR,
Yeah, yeah.
right? That's the
So when you
goal.
when there's spouses who wants to come to Canada, really assess who's gonna be a student and who's gonna be an
Yes.
OWP. So
Mhm.
make that
Yes.
decision and make it as a teamwork. Okay, don't push the study
Yes.
student to the wife, or because usually it's the wife who's studying. Don't do that. Sometimes so sometimes whoever has the most experience and whoever has the experience that will be better in Canada, who is in demand in Canada, just give that OWP to that
Mm-hmm.
person, right? And the other one should study, because
Yes.
you might be a permanent resident in 1 year and 6 months, right? So who knows, right? Just look into that option. Yeah. So
Mm.
let's hear from Rachel. I know Rachel has a very good point to
Yeah.
share.
Yes.
Well, in terms of like, I guess my biggest mistake, I'd say, is not knowing right away what I wanted out of Canada. So initially,
Mm-hmm.
I came here with plans to study and work just a little bit, just because I was like, I was worried that how the adjustment would feel like. Like, it's, of course, some people take it like they love Canada, they want to stay here, but some other people they get a taste of it, but then they know that it's not for them. So I was trying to find out which I was in between those two. But midway through, like I think working, I felt I had a different calling. Suddenly, I wanted to become a permanent resident here in BC. But when I found out how difficult it was for me to bridge my 1 year studies to PR, that's when the panic kicked in. Like, I was very antsy. I was always like at the edge of my seat, and I was worried all the time. So I guess for the viewers out there, like, know what you want right away, be prepared and be thorough in your application, and like keep a track of all the important dates, documents that you will be needing before moving to Canada. Otherwise, you will carry a burden of accomplishing big tasks in a short amount of time. Like right after graduation, I had to work right away. There was no gap. I didn't take any breaks. I didn't have like a breather room, because there was time pressure for me to fulfill the requirements to apply for permanent residence here in Canada. And
That's
fortunately, I had a job lined up before my last day as a student. So you got to be quick, like what Jason said. You have to be strategic. And in all honesty, it is difficult to take a 1 year program to PR pathway because the time is limited. There is no room for error. And even then, like I fulfilled my duties. I did my job. Like I met the requirements for Canadian experience class, and yet here I am still. I had to apply as a visitor on a visitor record to remain in Canada. Why? Because I didn't get invited to apply for PR. That's the one thing that I also didn't know going through the process. I thought it would be like a one, two, three, like study, work, and then you're a PR. But the immigration process is very rigid, and it's very strict, especially like they don't, although they're opening their gates, it's filtered still, right? You still have to be like the best candidate to be chosen to apply for permanent residency in Canada. So yeah, my funds are depleting now. Like, I'm just kind of holding on to what I have, and I use YouTube as an outlet for my frustrations, and also like I want other people to learn from my experience, because I don't want you guys to
That's
go through
true.
that stress that I did. So it's good to be
Yeah.
informed right away.
That's the reason why it's really important, being in this platform. Because, for example, Melanie has different experience. I had a different experience, and
Mhm.
even MC and Rachel as well. So that's the reason why, like, to be honest, I'm really, really like happy that we are here, sharing our experiences, because you, like what we mentioned earlier, these experiences, you can't find this in any kind of reading or whatnot. It you will know these stuff through, for those who are those who were international students as well, who are really open to share, which are really, we are here to share our knowledge and even our experiences to you guys, of course.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very well said. Yeah. Yes, MC.
Even though we're not expert, again, you will learn from first-hand experiences of international students. Like,
Mhm.
you guys are so lucky.
Yeah.
During our time, we don't
Yeah,
have any
the
of
fact
them.
that we are the
Yeah.
resource, right?
Yeah. And
And we all
guys,
Yeah, and
have
that
different experiences. That's the beauty too. Like we all have our own, like our own experience going through this process, and it's nice that we all
mm,
came together to share this in one
Right.
platform.
yeah, I really
yeah, and I'm
appreciate
so
you guys
happy
being here. Yeah.
that we're like
Thank you very
together.
much. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
being here and sharing your experiences. And guys, there's also other platforms, like there are Facebook groups where people are very helpful. Actually, you can share your experiences, you can ask questions in Facebook groups that are dedicated to international students. But remember, guys, do not disclose your personal information, because there are
Yes.
hackers out there who can like take your identity and do bad things with it. So yeah, so thank you very much, everybody. We're 2 hours here.
I know.
Yeah.
But now we start like getting questions
Yeah, so we
now.
will
I'm
start
pretty sure they're
opening. I'm sorry for all those who sent questions ahead, but right now we will start taking questions, and we
mhm.
will start with whoever is coming right now. Okay, let's start with it's me.
Yeah.
Can you pay your tuition and living expenses out from your part-time job? Okay, Rachel. Sure.
Um, I had to raise my hand right away. Like in terms of living in Vancouver, I'm just speaking from my experience. No, it's not possible. It really because like if you're expecting to find a job that is a high paying job here in Canada, it might be difficult to attain at first. So it will be a humbling experience to go through all these like minimum wage jobs. And with minimum wage jobs, it is really a um, struggling salary or like compensation. So it may be difficult. So you need all the support that you can get. And I feel like you will live a very frugal life if you were to, I mean, it is possible, but you will be living a very frugal life when you do that.
Just to add, yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, guys. So, like, if part-time job, you really can't. It's so impossible, you know. But again, like what I mentioned, strategize. Like for what I did, I had my co-op, and that was a good opportunity for me to earn money and to have more part-time jobs, so that I was able to save and earn for one full semester.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Rachel, I have a question for you. Oh, not that one. Yeah, this one.
Why
Why
do you
didn't you have? Mhm.
Oh, okay. My CRS score, well, because right after graduation from the Philippines, I came to Canada to study again. So right off the bat, I don't have points for foreign work experience. I never had work experience. Only after I graduated in Canada did I do the 1 year work experience, and
Yeah.
was fortunate that I did land a skilled level job. So that alone, like my CRS score was 450, and I did consider all the other programs that I could have applied for example provincial nominee program, but at that time my employer was not on board, so I had to forego that option, and that left me with no choice but to apply as a visitor to remain in Canada while I wait for the scores to drop and get invited for PR. So it's actually a big risk. So yeah,
Mhm.
I just want to emphasize that again. It's like it's so hard for a 1 year program. So
Yeah.
proceed with caution.
Thank you very much, Rachel. So, another question here. If the program I'm going to choose will eventually lead to taking board exam for registration in Canada, will that make the immigration officer suspicious about my student visa application? So, which program has a board exam for Canada?
Okay, I want to answer that.
Okay,
So
MC.
let's say if you're a nurse, let's say if you're a nurse, if you're gonna take, it really depends on how would you like put that on your study plan, right? If you're going to say, I'm gonna get my registration here in Canada and then I'm gonna work here, but if you're going to say, I'm gonna go back to my country, yes, you can get the registration here, but you still have your license in your home country, right? You can still go back and practice. So it really depends on how would you present it on your letter. So doesn't matter if you're eligible to take a registration here, you still have the license to practice in your home country.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much, MC. So another question for me: how were you able to get two part-time jobs? So that was during the break. So when you're in a break, you can actually do full-time jobs as much as you can during
Mm-hmm.
summer breaks or winter breaks. So during that time, it was winter break, and I actually had, I think, few hours. It's not really a max. So, and it was only for like the produced part-time job was only for 2 weeks. I really cannot. I tried my best, but I can't really stay for so long. So yeah. So during the winter and summer breaks, you can have full-time jobs or two part-time jobs. Yes, Jason.
I just want to add. So back in my time, during when I was still international student, I had two part-time jobs. Okay, so I know that we are just working for 20 hours per week. But again, I strategize myself. So I was working in a food service industry and hospitality industry. So it means to say, the good thing here in Canada is that once you had your interview, the manager will ask you, what is your availability? So what I did was I provided my availability for this food service industry for only 10 hours. And then I found another job and I provided again, I provided them like for 10 hours as well. So even if I am just working for 20 hours, I work for two part-time jobs as well. So in that sense, because here in Canada is like sometimes, especially if you are working by hour or hourly like that. For example, in one company, sometimes they don't give you like full-time hours of 20 hours per week immediately. No, it's not. Sometimes like 15 or less. So that's
Yes.
the reason why I strategize myself, like applying for two companies, but giving the schedule for 10 hours and 10 hours as well.
Yeah. So I just to add. Oh yeah, MC. Go ahead.
So I want to add something. Like, for example, it's the same. That's true, Jason, that sometimes you cannot maximize 20 hours. Sometimes it will only give you 15, 16 hours. So what I did some like craft thing that I can sell. So just to give like, some extra source of income for myself. So you can
Yeah.
also do that. No, not just always
Yeah.
like working for a employer.
Yeah. Another thing is the 20 hours per week is outside school.
Mhm.
So you can also take if I'm right, you can take a part-time job inside a school and it's not counted for 20 hours per week. So you can work inside a school and then you can work outside the school. Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you can, okay, because don't risk
Yeah.
failing your subjects because you want to work part-time,
Yes.
okay? Yeah. I
Yeah.
Yes,
wouldn't I
that's true.
wouldn't I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, next question. Um, since there is still pandemic, what is the current situation in Canada in terms of getting work? Yeah, who wants to answer?
Well, I'd say that in terms of getting work, it's actually quite difficult because if it's not an open work permit, it's going to be a closed, and if it's a closed work permit, it needs to be employer sponsored. And the process for getting a labor market impact assessment, which is basically having your employer sponsor you, is going to be very challenging. Even myself, like already working in the company and having
Mhm.
proposed that to them, they found it very challenging. So, what more if you are coming from outside? Because employers have to justify their need for a temporary foreign worker. Like,
Mm.
why would they hire someone that is not a Canadian citizen or PR? They have to justify that. So it will be challenging.
Yeah, so just to add on to that, Rachel, I believe most of you heard about the Alberta can like minimizing the the temporary foreign workers program, right? It's because here in Alberta, the unemployment rate is so high. So the government is prioritizing the Albertans first, right? So that's why they are limiting. They're not canceling, they're limiting. So I foresee in foreseeable future, I would say the AINP nomination will have more jobs in the ineligible those that are not eligible with AINP. That's a very sad fact. So yeah, this pandemic is really getting making everything worse. Yes, MC.
So for that, for like it's pandemic, we cannot change that, right? But make sure when you're choosing a program, check the career outcome. Is that an in-demand job? You know, choose an in-demand job, I guess, if that is your concern. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, MC. So thank you, everyone, and then we'll proceed to the next one. I think MC it will be for you. It's in UAE.
What are the documents that should be notarized? And I am currently okay for if there's anything, let's say if your transcript has a Tagalog words or any other words apart from English or French, you have to notarize it. Okay, just to like in my case, I'm always like that. Instead of like thinking about it, I'll just do it. I'll notarize it. I'll translate it, so I will not think about it anymore. You know, I think it's not that much of money, so just notarize it
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
translate
okay.
it.
Yeah, and translated. So I think another thing I think is that when it comes to funds, like if it's a support letter, because what's the idea of notarization? It's getting that person to be liable to whatever is written there, right? And to prove that it's actually a true copy, right? Something like that. So yeah, when it comes to legal to like funds and everything, I would suggest that would be notarized. Yeah.
I think
Yes,
she's
I'm.
asking about the tenancy contract. I also attached my tenancy contract in Dubai,
Yeah.
but I think it has an English translation. It has a Arabic and English translation. If it has both, then you don't have
Mhm.
to translate it. You know, but maybe you can authorize it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, because I thought she's asking for what are the documents that should be notarized. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm not sure. Did you have to attach your tenancy contract? Why is that needed? I
Oh, it's
didn't
for the
have
common
mine
law.
before. Oh,
It's
okay,
for the
okay,
common
okay.
law.
It's for the
Mhm.
common law. Okay, I didn't have to attach mine before. I can't remember anything about that. Okay, next question from Bea. Is the co-op counted as one semester? Jason, do you want to take this?
And our
Mr. Co-op.
study at Seneca College,
The
this will
co-op
depend on
design.
anyone with a 3-year program with co-op. Will it be 3 years co-op included in 3 years of co-op on top of the Okay, so again, just to make sure, go back to the website of Centennial Seneca College, and then actually they are providing, like for example, courses by courses and semester by semester. So if the co-op is included in the 3-year program, so it means to say it will be a one full semester of co-op program. Okay, so again, like what I mentioned, like I said, the co-op placement internship,
Yes.
it depends by institution. So just go back to the website, look for the courses, look at for the semester by semester. But co-op usually is a one full semester, depending on the program as well.
Yeah, I would advise for you to email your international center uh, just to get an information about this. And if you email, you'll have evidence, right? That that's what they told you.
Right.
Okay, make sure you can call or you can ask, but if you email, you'll have an evidence. So I would suggest you email them and ask them about it.
For documentation purposes.
Yes, exactly. Okay, let's move on to the next one. With additional French points, it seems bachelor student can apply for PR with TEF CLB 7 and ILCLB 10. This seems like students who follow and save a lot with TEFs. That's very true. Actually, the update right now, if you have some French skills, and then you'll get more points, and
Yeah.
then it will also boost your English points for that one. So
But
yeah.
But I still think that it's a
Right.
mixed bag for everyone because like, it really depends on your profile, right? Like if you
Yeah, exactly.
work experience at all, that already is a major, deduction on your score. And
Yeah.
by that, you may have even like just not even close to 400. So it really depends because
Yeah.
like Canada wants you to assimilate in their country. So that means studying and working at one point, and that will definitely boost your score, especially if you're aiming for PR.
For those with borderline scores, right? Like you already max out your IELTS, you already max out, whatever you can max out. This French update will probably save you.
Yeah, I know it's amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
We
next one. I'm actually eyeing for Centennial College Fast Track BA Accounting 3 semesters. Since it's gonna be how will okay, MC, do you want to take this fast track
Well,
program?
since it's to be accomplished in 1.5, but it's only 3 semesters as per the CIC website. Okay, I'm gonna refer on the CIC website. It says there needs to be 4 semesters. Okay, if this is less than 2 years and then more than 1 year, I don't know. Correct me if I'm
might be
wrong,
the
but
same
I
length.
know that it's going to be the same length of your program.
Yes, that's what I understand too. Yeah.
So
So if
yeah,
you're taking 8 months to, let's say, less than 2 years, it's gonna be the same length. If you're taking 2 years or more, it's gonna be three. That's what I understand. You can ask your
mhm.
international center again, right? They can
Yeah,
surely
make
help
sure that
you.
you get 4 semesters. That will
At
you know,
least.
ease your mind.
Yeah.
Experience.
Okay, next, this is just a follow up for Rachel.
So
Yeah.
pretty high score. I thought he's saying that you're
Yeah.
pretty,
Yeah.
Rachel.
Oh no, it's a pretty high score.
Yeah.
Okay, you missed that.
I would still take that compliment.
Yeah. Next, hello, will the employer company for program be provided by the school or the student will search for it?
Oh, the co-op guy can answer that.
Okay.
Co-op guy.
Okay. So there's at Conestoga College, what they did was before the semester ends, for those people who are getting co-op, the college posted a lot of companies who are looking for co-op, who are looking for an employee or like that. But what I did was I didn't wait for that. So what I strategized was I already applied for a hospitality industry company before I had my co-op. So what happened was the part-time job that I had, I asked the manager if I can do co-op in the company. And luckily, they approved it and they agreed on it that I can have my co-op in my part-time job. So the good thing happened was like I had I had my work full time, and also I was able to present and my responsibility, my hard work, my loyalty to that company. And then at the end of the day, at the end of my program, they were able to provide me promotion. So it means to say that what I suggest, okay, so what I suggest, for example, you are in my case, if you are in the hospitality industry, just look for the hospitality industry company immediately, so that the company that you will be in is like you are investing your time, your loyalty, your responsibility, your hard work specifically. So after your education, you might have a promotion, they will absorb you like that. So but still, as much as possible, look for a co-op company that is will be paying you as well, or paid as well. So it's still the school can provide you companies, but also you can get, or you can do your job as looking for a company for your co-op as well.
Thank you very much, Jason. Yeah, so every school have different protocols. Okay, remember that. Okay, next one. Oh, sorry, MC. Yes.
I want to add something. Remember when I said like I had a placement? That's like either it can be paid or unpaid. So if you can find a job that will pay you, that's great, right? That's what happened to Felix, by the way. So he got a job in Toronto, and then that's like he used that as his placement, and that like gets him a full time job as well. So if you can get that right away, that would be great, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yep. Next one would be from the Cure. I am presently working as a nurse for 5 years, and I also have 1 year caregiver experience. Do you guys think I should let my wife do SP and me as OWP since I have the experience? Okay. Who wants to take this?
Oh, it seems like a very like an authorized representative, or like it's hard to get.
What?
We can
So you
right.
remember, guys, we are
Most
only
people
working
add
about the information that you gave. It's and this question probably not is not enough for us to gauge. Yes, MC.
But I want to add something with that. If you're a nurse, most likely if you want to be a nurse here in Canada, you most likely you're going to study again. Why don't
Yes.
you study and then your wife can work? So we can't tell because we don't know your wife, we don't know her background. It's
Mm,
hard to tell without
the
knowing those
Maybe
things,
just
right?
mention about being a nurse. You need to be licensed, right? You can't practice immediately, right?
yeah.
So
Yes, you have to go through assessment and things.
if you intend
Yeah.
to work as a nurse immediately, you can't, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So next one is how easy or difficult would it be to extend your student permit when you're there? Will it really depend on the school only?
It
Have you
depends on
guys
how.
extended your permit?
No, we.
Have
I think we
you?
So
we
for
we
example, I think
didn't.
it's like a Jason question. Like if you were to 1 plus 1 another
Mm.
program tail end, but like it's not really. It is a factor. The school is a factor, but it's really more on like how you explain why you're extending your study permit. Like
Yes.
you have to give your motivations again for.
Isn't that applying for a new study permit?
I
I
think
don't
that's
think there's
one plus
such thing.
one.
Yeah, there's no such thing as
Mhm.
extending your student permit. You have to apply, or unless your passport is not
Your
allowing
Yeah,
you
passport
to.
expired.
Yeah, your passport expired, but your LOA is there, so you just have to extend because of your
Yeah,
passport.
that's fine.
But if it's gonna be another program, that's totally a
It's
different
gonna be the
application.
same process.
yeah.
Yeah,
You have to show your documentation again, money.
that's what I think.
It
Yeah,
will be the
yeah.
same. Yeah.
Okay, next. For married students, can you apply for PR already if your spouse with OWP gets a job offer that is field related to their experience, even if you're in the middle? Okay, I'll take this. I'm married.
Yeah.
Go, Melanie.
Popcorn.
Yeah, no, okay, okay. You cannot you cannot apply for PR unless you are invited. Okay, let's clear that. Okay, you can you can always apply in express entry. You can lodge your profile and be in the express entry pool, and then you get a job, and then you get 1 year Canadian work experience, and then it will increase your score. So what happens is the student is studying, right? So I have this in my Success Sunday in my Facebook page, wherein Abigail from SAIT. So she's the student, and then her husband is working for. So he works for a year, and then his CRS score is 480 plus. So they were. So the husband is the main applicant, and they were invited to apply for permanent residency, and they're already permanent resident right now, and Abby's still studying fourth semester. So what happened is it's the husband who's the main applicant, and the student is still studying. So right now during the fourth semester, Abby's tuition fee is not international rate anymore. So it's already local rate,
Yeah.
Oh,
which
nice.
is one third
Yeah.
of the international student rate. If the tuition fee is about 10,000, she's paying about 3,000. So it's possible as long as the CRS score of the spouse of the OWP is high enough to be invited for PR.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Next, uh, I'm worried about getting a job in the skill. I've read the BCP and PBC.
Oh, but like I read this question, but I know that through the federal immigration, which is through express entry, to qualify for that program, it has to be a knock zero A or B. You could probably get an invite if your employer keeps sponsoring you in that occupation, and you do kind of earn points for it. But I feel like it would be very minimal. But I don't know, like, does anyone have a comment on this? Because
I'm
I
not sure. I'm not very well versed about PCP and PM. Sorry about that. Yeah.
yes, I also, like, because I forgo that option because it did not apply to me. I wasn't even able to see the requirements. Although I know that they have their own score system. It's called Sears, and it's kind of like you're applying again to another points system, and you have to pass that before you get your nomination to apply for the federal, like, express entry. So I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem possible because the server is not a high skilled job. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
MC, do you have anything to add?
Try to find a skilled B at least. You know,
Mhm.
C is, it will be hard here in British Columbia. Or maybe you wanna look at Atlantic or rural northern immigration pilot. That will be
Mhm.
another option for you.
Oh.
But we're not an immigration consultant here, so
Yeah.
you
It's hard
can't
Yeah,
to.
tell. It's
unfortunately, if you
hard to
want to,
sell.
yeah, if you really want your profile to be assessed, maybe you'll get an immigration consultant to help you so that you'll not miss any chance. Because who knows, that might be possible, right? So, yeah,
Yeah.
please get some help. Yeah, yeah, okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay. I'm eyeing to apply for a 2-year business administration diploma at SAIT.
Oh, say.
Was a business management graduate. Would it be redundant choosing a closely related program?
Mm.
Um, business.
Oh.
Add there if after one of you guys finish.
Okay, so I don't think it would be because in my experience I am a bachelor of science in chemistry. That's even higher than chemical lab tech in my experience, right? So it really depends on how you apply it to how you explain it in your SOP, statement of
Mhm.
purpose.
Mhm.
What I did is I analyzed the curriculum of that program at SAIT one
Mhm.
by one. So each subject I checked, did I take this during my undergrad in the Philippines? If not, then I put it aside and I make sure I discuss that in my SOP. I'll say that this is not included in my bachelor's program, and this is gonna be an additional
Mhm.
credit for me, right? So it and I bet you if you graduated long time ago, it's probably gonna be different. And knowing that you studied outside Canada, it's probably gonna be a good add on, yeah, to your
Oh,
career. Yep, MC.
yes, I want to add something with that. I've seen a lot of, to be honest, I've seen a lot of rejection saying business management. So if you can do that, like what Melanie said, make sure that you cross check your subject and then the curriculum here in Canada, because when you apply for a study permit, you're going to include your transcript. So they might check that, right? They might find out that, oh, it's redundant. So do that now before
Mhm.
you opt for that program.
Yeah. Rachel, you want to add?
Yeah, because, like, again, it really depends on how you explain your statement of purpose. You really have to reiterate why pursuing that education in Canada is necessary for your
Yeah.
advancement. You have to say how that program in Canada will benefit you educationally or career wise. And also, you kind of have to justify, like, business management courses are readily available and offered in the Philippines. So,
Yes, in the Philippines.
what makes this a program in Canada stand out as to, and why would you need
Mhm.
to do it in Canada instead of the Philippines? So that's.
Yeah. Yes, MC.
That's why when I, like, someone asked me, "Oh, can I take a business program again?" I would s- I wanted, like, tell them, take a specialization. Do not take a management because they have it in the Philippines. Yeah.
If you want to take it the next level, like what I did, I created a table for all like the neighboring countries in the Philippines, like Singapore, Japan, all those. I analyzed the programs available in the countries and the tuition fees and everything. I included that in my SOP. So I have to convince the visa officer that this is the best option for me. So if you want to take it the next level, do that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Yes,
I think,
MC.
Melanie, for your program, it's easy to justify because yours is like technical. Business
Yeah, yeah.
management is just it's very general.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, you have to find that something that makes Canada stand out,
Mhm.
right? It can be the program or it can be the career opportunity after your program. So,
Exactly.
yeah, it's a matter of explanation.
Right.
So, guys, we have 6 more minutes to answer your questions. Sorry, we can't be here all day. It's taking too long.
Do we need to live stream for like 24 hours?
So we aim to finish at 2:40 mark. We have 6 more minutes to answer your questions. So I'm sorry for those questions that will not be able to answer.
So we can
Yeah,
do
but
this again, next time.
yes, yeah. So that's what we're gonna tell them later, right? Okay. So next question for Jason.
In regards to culinary management, do you think Conestoga? Okay, so Conestoga College has a one campus in Waterloo region that literally specifically for hospitality industry and culinary management as well. So I
Mm.
suggest like at culinary, you can also go to Conestoga College because they are also really focusing on this program as well. So one of the most I mean great program at Conestoga College is also culinary management and in hospitality as well.
Mm. Okay, thank you very much, Jason. Next question. I'm going to stay with my aunt and her family. Should I stay it?
Personally, like when I was doing my SOP, I stated them because I will be living with them, and that's kind of like proof of your financial support. That because
Yeah.
you also have to prove to the immigration officer that you can shoulder the expenses of living in Canada, and if they find out that you do have support through a relative, that may strengthen your chances. So, like, I included it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so it depends, case to case basis. You have to explain again. You have to explain in the SOP. Okay. Okay. Next one. I'm not sure what this is. Is this with but program? But that's okay. Let's move on. Hello, Miss MC.
It's for me.
Yes.
In NSCT Fruit SC, I'm planning to bring my. Okay, for the funds, it's a calculation for that. Your best friend, CIC website. You go to CIC website. It has a table where you can calculate how much fund you need. Depends on how many like family members you will bring here to Canada. So basically, for single applicants, it's 10,000 Canadian dollars, and then if you're going to bring your spouse, 4,000, and then additional members will be 3,000 each. So do the math, crunch the numbers, and then you'll get the answer. But look at the CIC website.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. And this is another thank you, Miss MC. Okay, it's me. I'm an accountant in Philippines. What program can you suggest that I should take? I'm looking at business ad diploma. Would it be considered downgrade and cost for visa refusal? So,
I think it's a downgrade. I think it's a downgrade. You're an accountant. It's like nursing. Why would you get the practical nurse if we're almost the same level as a practical nurse here in Canada? There's no, doesn't make any sense. It will be hard for you to explain it on your study plan. Maybe get a post grad in accounting. That is like better.
so do you think it
I
will
think
cause
that's,
a visa refusal?
I can't tell. No.
Mm,
Sometimes it
yeah,
really depends on how would you present
you,
that on your
yeah,
study plan,
exactly. How do you present?
but it's going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right.
I agree.
So,
Yeah.
just to insert, I have a video about choosing the best program, and I explained there how you can go to Canada Job Bank and analyze what are the jobs that you can do in Canada and what are the related programs to that. So maybe you can take a look
Mm-hmm.
at that video, and then you can analyze like probably that's not the only option for you, right? So you can
Mm-hmm.
go explore it, explore your opportunities in Canada Job Bank, and yeah, explore the programs that are related to, yeah, to you. Okay, next one for Jason.
The
Does
co-op guy.
okay. So,
So the co-op for
the duty
Jason.
hours counted for 20 hours allowed time for part-time as an international student. Again, huh? For co-op, does your duty hours counted for the 20 hours allowed time for part-time as an okay. So
Oh.
so in my program, like what I mentioned, the co-op semester is for one full semester. So I finished first the two academic semesters, and after that, I had my co-op. So it means to say is the one full term of co-op. I didn't need to go to school. I didn't need to go to classroom to have an education or learning. So I focused or I had my co-op as a whole as like working as well. So like it's like a work experience that is part of my program. So if you are still in your academic semesters, you only work for 20 hours per week because your co-op is not yet part of that semester. But again, like what I mentioned, it depends on the program, it depends on the school as well. But if, for example, like you are saying that during your academic semester, there is a part of your co-op studies. I think the co-op is not counted in your part-time job.
Mhm. Did you have to secure a work permit for that, for
So
that, for the co-op?
Never.
what I had is like, yeah. So I have two permits. The first one is the study permit, and the second one is a work permit, indicating in the condition that I will be having my co-op,
Yeah.
co-op program as a
Yeah.
work permit.
So that's
Yeah.
like inclusive, right? Okay,
Yeah.
MC.
Yeah, the same with me with placement. I have to get that co-op, and you have to put that on your like the form, the study permit the application. So you have to indicate that your program has a co-op. That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Rachel, did you have to like go through a placement or something like that? Work with a company?
No, not at all. Like everything was
Oh.
very I had to find it organically. Like I had to
Um,
search the jobs.
Oh.
There was not much assistance from the school. Actually,
mhm.
it's kind of like once you graduate, you're on your own. Like we've
Mm,
equipped you with all the necessary skills. Now go forth and do it on your own. So it's
mm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember for my case at Chemical Lab Tech, because I didn't take the co-op option, right? But we had one subject where we are placed in a company. So the school actually search is partnered with companies, and then they sent us there for 2 weeks. 2 weeks or 1 week, I can't remember. Yeah, so we worked for that company, but this is not paid. This is just like an exposure to the company, right? So you'll like do job shadowing, or your company will ask you to do some stuff just for you to have a feel of the industry experience, and it's like one subject in the curriculum, and it's just a pass or failed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who didn't take the co-op option for Chemical Lab Tech, at least we got the experience of working in that company. And for my case, I worked in the company where I worked for during summer, because I got a summer chemist position, and then just a thank you for them, right? I went back there and worked there for free, just to thank them for taking me full time during the summer, and I really really enjoyed it. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you very much. We're done.
Are we done?
Yeah,
More,
we are
more,
done.
more.
So I'm sorry for those who questions that we were not able to answer. The time is up, unfortunately.
I,
Yeah. So MC, would you like to tell them what's gonna happen next?
so what's gonna happen next is that I think we can do this again if you guys want it. Give
Yes.
us a thumbs up if you want it, right? So we can do it again. And then we can set up a time again and we will announce it on our group. So we have a group, Pinoy Canada Student Visa. It's a Filipino group. I will also post it on SD Student Lounge. So I have that as well. You guys have like, you post your videos in different groups. So I'm pretty sure you guys will know that. Like
Yeah.
you will make sure that you subscribe in our channel so you don't miss
Yes.
any updates.
All our
Yeah.
names are
So
It's time to promote our channels.
yeah, so please subscribe. SLE Canada, Study Live Explore Canada, and I have my Instagram too at Study Live Explore CA. And yeah, I upload video every single week, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday 9 p.m. British Columbia time.
Okay.
Next, Rachel. You
yeah,
want to invite them?
please do watch my YouTube channel as well. It's the same. It's my username that you see on the screen, RR Denzel. I recently also did a TikTok where it's more casual, more laid back. It's more like memes.
Yeah.
You're so cute, Rachel.
Like I try to make it light. Immigration is very heavy to most, and we have to be realistic. We also have to give ourselves some credit by like having a good laugh at it. So I have a TikTok for that as well. It's at RR Denzel. Everything is RR Denzel, like Instagram, TikTok, and my YouTube channel, especially my YouTube channel. So do check that out. Jason?
Yes, so same thing with me as you can see here, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, same thing, Jason Jim for my YouTube channel. As you know, I'm making videos about international student workers and even of course here in Canada. Same thing with my Instagram and still Jason Jim. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel. So Melanie.
Okay, you're
That
in
is
my
easy.
channel.
Pass it on.
If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe first before leaving the live
It's been
stream.
3 hours.
Yeah, oh my God. Thank you very much for joining us. Wow. It's like we peaked at 120 watchers. Wow. That's amazing, right? Thank you very much. So
Yes.
I also have a Facebook page. It's also Melanie on Demand, where I share all of this information as well. And I have a hashtag Success Sunday, where I share information, the story of international students who were successful to get their permanent residence, and also some international students who's successful in their application. So do check out my Facebook page as well, and I have an Instagram as well with the same handle, Melanie on Demand, and yeah, of course, the YouTube channel. So I'm still on my Canada Study Permit application series. If you haven't watched that, I'm pretty sure you will learn a lot from that series. So make sure you watch it. It's gonna be continuous until we get to the part to the end of the series, and then I'll make another series about the express entry. So make sure you're subscribed. Okay. Thank
We
you
will
very
be
much,
sharing our
guys.
journey for sure from being a student till we get our Canadian passport. Wow.
It's a long journey.
Yeah, so we're gonna do this
So
again.
you
We're
guys should
gonna
make
talk.
sure that you subscribe.
We're gonna do this again. We're gonna be in a different channel next time, but probably the same faces.
Yes.
If we can get more people on board, why not? Right?
Yeah.
So just let us know what topic you want us to discuss. It should be within the coverage of of our niche. So yeah, so thank you very much everyone for watching, and thank you guys for being here in my
Thank you so much for
channel.
sharing
No,
all your
my
experiences, guys.
pleasure.
I learned so much.
Bye guys. See ya.
Bye.